grand slam.
Yeah, sure feels more than just one each.
Oh, well. Move on to today.
One, it's still entirely too early to have any sort of, this team sucks, season's over. I'm not anywhere remotely close to that, but I did realize that is some of the messages. Two, everybody found out who the hitting coach was last night on Twitter.
I wouldn't have known 24 hours ago who the hitter coach
Really?
was until they said it last night during a game. They showed that guy on the screen, and I'm like, oh, he must be the hitter coach. And I was like, okay, good for him.
Yeah, we're officially in fire hitting coach season.
Oh, is that where we are now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex
you mean off a
Zumwalt.
playoff team from a year ago? We're firing the hitting coach 15 days into the season?
Yeah, Alex Zumwalt is the number one man of wanted outside of like I don't know if he's surpassed MJ and Hunter Renfroe yet, but it's damn close.
Yeah.
After last night.
The hitting coach really has no impact on anything that takes place from these guys from an offensive standpoint.
And then I had a little bit of inner Fescoe in me last night.
You turned the game off early and went to bed?
I went to the other room and turned something more entertaining on after I saw there's the pitch and gone. There's the other pitch and gone. And there's another one and gone. I was like, okay, I don't need to do this to myself tonight.
Yeah.
Like, it just,
Sometimes you check out and it's fine.
Because I mean, it was just, it's just one of those games where you're like, this Carrasco guy's terrible. He's been bad all year, and he one hits the Royals, and the only hit is Bobby Witt Jr. 10 pitch at bat home run, which was awesome.
Great home run.
But their balls went out of the ballpark, ours didn't.
Yeah, the Vinny Pasquantino one I thought was going, and then right there.
Oh, I was Mike Shannon. I was like, get up. Get up! Oh my God, 313.
I thought either that was gone or foul. I knew it was out of the ball. Oh, he caught it at the wall.
Yeah, that was the swing.
That sucks. Yeah.
As soon as he hit it, I'm like, fine. I was like, we're in New York, and I was like, damn it.
That's either going foul or go. Oh, it's caught. Oh, that sucks.
And yeah, I'm nowhere near anybody needs to lose their job. I'm nowhere near. This season is in shambles. Our pets' heads are falling off, but I am present and aware of the conversation that is had that this offense is bad.
Yeah.
And it's real bad right now.
Well, we know it is. I mean, I'm looking at the run differential right now. It's -11. It's not great, but there's only one plus team in the American League Central right now in run differential, and that's the Detroit Tigers. And shockingly enough, they're in first place. And so, you got to kind of look at what's going on. But the city are people wanting people fired and things like that on April 15th. I mean, we've reached tax day, ladies and gentlemen, and we're a team that's coming off the postseason, and it's the 15th of April, and people are wanting guys fired. Like, I look at, the firing of coaches all the time, and I think to myself, what difference are you really going to make with a hitting coach? We're talking about Major League Baseball players here, okay? We're not talking about little leaguers. We're not talking about high school kids or anything like that need lessons on how to hit. The hitting coach is basically a sounding board for guys, right? They'll tell you all the time it's their counselor, right? It's their therapist. It's the guy that they can talk to, and that's what you have to be as a hitting coach. Yeah, basically, you could use that term as well, but they're not like a quote-unquote coach, if you will, where you're in there doing all these different drills and all this kind of stuff, and this is going to get you out of this slump. Baseball's a very hard game. It's probably the hardest thing to do. Hit a baseball, I would say the hardest thing to do in sports. I mean, golf, you're hitting it off a tee. Football, you got, your team around you. Basketball, you go 50%, you're looked at as a hero. Baseball, you hit 30%. You have success 30% of the time, which means you fail 70% of the time. You're a Hall of Famer. The average Major League Baseball player is successful about 25, 24% of the time. And so when you have that kind of, success rate, it's going to look bad if everybody's not producing in that lineup. But the hitting coach being fired, come on, get a life. Seriously, we can't be living, and I'm not speaking of I'm speaking of the we of collective, living and dying on every single baseball game. That if you're living and dying on every pitch right now in April, you ain't going to last till October with this team.
Right. I think the red flag, though, that is a for sure reason of concern is, you'd mentioned yesterday that the Salvador Perez might have been the spark. Okay, take that. Yeah. There's a win. You got some offense. Everybody seemed to produce. You had two guys get 3 hits. All right, team's rolling. Your next opportunity was Lugo versus Carrasco, where you thought to yourself, you just got to win one in New York, and this one seems like the one, right? Now you're going to throw out there Waka today, which I am terrified of him in that ballpark. I'm just being an honest John here. I am terrified of the way Michael Waka's been pitching this year, and in that lot of fly ball outs, deep fly ball outs, that park doesn't hold. We know that. It's no secret. Yankee Stadium is a backyard baseball. Pablo Francisco, whoever his name is, Pablo Torre, out here hitting bombs anytime he comes up to bat. But that was a game, I think, why it kind of was frustrating is because – obviously we have people that think Lugo might have met his peak last year.
I'm one of them. I think a lot of these guys, peaked last year.
I know, Rob. He might be washed.
No, I'm not saying he's washed.
I know.
But you're bringing guys back off of career years, asking them to do what they did and then some, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do. I don't think they're washed by any means, but I don't think are they all going to be in the Cy Young category this year? Probably not. Probably not.
So I think you looked at the pitching matchup of Lugo versus Carrasco. You looked at what that game was on Sunday, building momentum. Sal hits the home run. Let's get some offense going. And you had an opportunity. Of course, the game isn't played on paper, but when you look at that matchup and you think of how baseball is, you're like, okay, we should have a chance to steal one here. And then, red flags happen throughout the game. The guy that has a 7.7 ERA who's been roughed up the entire year, even your bats couldn't hit him. That's a red flag to me. Lugo throwing the same pitch 3 times in a row that all leave the yard. It's like, dude, stop trying to sneak 92 in. They're hitting it.
Like 92 is a cookie for a major leaguer, man. They better have darting all over the place, you know?
And so I think that's kind of like
fire the pitching coach then, too.
Oh, not Brian Sweeney. Brian Sweeney's a dog, man. That guy
is he? I don't know.
Look what he did last year.
We want the hitting coach fired. We might as well fire the pitching coach, too, right?
And I think the other thing, too, is that it's just like there is clearly a funk going on in that lineup. Like, to have one hit against that guy last night in Carrasco that just wasn't there all in the early part of the season, it's a little bit of a concern. Now, again, where I can give you green flags, this seemingly happens to the Royals every year. Like, they always seem to have early season flows with the bats, and then all of a sudden they start getting in their rhythm and starts to pick up and everything's there. The other thing I will tell you is that it was only solo runs and it was only 4. So that's where the offense has just got to be better. Like, your offense never gave you a chance last night outside of the young man who wears number 7.
Yeah, and the good news is, though, you look around the standings in all of the American League right now, there's only one team with 10 wins. Obviously, it's in our division with the Tigers, but there's nobody that's running away with anything right now. The Yankees sit at first place at 9-7. The Angels are in first place, which is a laugher, sitting at 9-6 right now. So like there's only one 10-win team. Nobody's winning a lot of games. There's a lot of 500 teams right now. This is early season baseball, and I think more and more people are paying attention, I think, to some of these early season games outside of opening day. It's because where the team was last year, and there seems to be this fear among Royals fans that we're always going to go and revert back to where we were from 1996 to 2010, 12, right in that era, where it's always going to be 90 to 100 loss seasons, 90 to 100 loss seasons. And I think there is so much fear, and rightfully so, and scar tissue built up for a lot of fans because of the way it's been here in Kansas City, that people are so afraid that it's going to revert back there. So there's panic time that sets in early on in the season, and there shouldn't be. So I had a friend over last night. We were having a conversation about this ball club, and he said to me, "What do people think of JJ?" And I'm like, "Well, they made the playoffs really in their first year with JJ as the GM of this team. People like him. I think he's doing an unbelievable job, with this ball club." He's like, "All right, cool, move on." And that's kind of where it is. Like, if you were on the bandwagon at the end of last season and felt good about where this team was going, you should still feel that way. You should still feel that they're a good organization and they're a good ball club and they're going to try to get these things better. You shouldn't have that fear for those that do, and you can sense it by just talking to people. I'm not even going to bring social media into it because they're the doomsdayers of everything, but just talking to people. People got that in the back of their mind that, last year was nice, but we're more of the 100 to 90 loss team that we've seen in years past. And I just don't think that's the right attitude to have, at least for me, because John Sherman has shown he's not that kind of owner, too.
I think the other thing, too, is that the text line makes a good point that seeing people up in arms over, game, 16 of the season?
9 and 8, 17, yeah.
17 games, yeah. So, it's, you have people that are upset because they're invested. I think, too, this is kind of the cross you are willing to bear if you're a Royals team, because you're the ones that came out and said, we're a playoff team.
That's right.
Right? Playoff team.
And you're right to continue to go back to that, Dusty. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yep.
You called your shot.
Yeah.
So, Fortunately, for Babe Ruth, he called his shot and, knocked one out of the park, lived up to his expectations. The Royals said, hey, we're a playoff team. Okay, well, at some point, you got to start acting like one because the last 3 series you played are against playoff teams. I know Cleveland's not there yet, but they were there last year.
They're ahead of you in the standings, though.
Yeah, right. You're playing the Yankees right now, and, I heard the stat last night that I think the Royals and the Yankees in the ALDS, the Royals lost a series by combined like 4 or 5 runs. They were still better than you. And, you're going to continue to have teams, think they can push you around. Clase, for an example.
Right.
Cleveland, for example, because you're not doing anything to prove that you are that playoff team. And right now, when you have a 3 as an average for runs and, 15 other ball clubs are averaging almost 2 runs more than you, like it's not to the narrative that everybody's offense stinks. It's that there's like 15 teams that have a good offense or at least a solid MLB offense right now, and there's 15 that don't. And unfortunately, right now, the Royals are in that 15 that don't. And if you're a playoff team, those 15 that don't become playoff teams.
Yeah, and my friend asked me last night, he goes, do you think this is a playoff team? He goes, what do you really think of this Royals team? And I'm like, ask me after the weekend. And he starts laughing. He goes, why? I go, well, you got a series with the Yankees and you got a series with the Tigers. Ask me on Monday morning how I'm feeling about the Royals. And
I think that's totally fair.
Right. I mean, I don't have a feel. They're a 500 ball club right now. They're like everybody else in Major League Baseball. It's April 15th. You can't truly have a feel, about a baseball team for a good portion of the season. It's 40 games to figure out who you are. It's 40 games to figure out what you're going to need, and then you play out the rest of those games. You play out the rest of the 80 games and see where you are. So we're 17 games into. We're not even halfway in that 40 game mark where baseball teams determine, okay, this is kind of who we are. We can kind of get a feel for it. But after this weekend, you have faced Cleveland, you have faced New York, you have faced Detroit. On Monday morning, on Sunday afternoon, when that game's over, I think we'll have a better feel of where this Royals team are. Is it going to be full-bore NFL draft, or are we going to have some baseball conversation that's going to take place? Because quite honestly, you've got to earn that conversation. And if they go out and they stub their toe in Detroit and they stub their toe in New York and they come back and they're like 6 games, 5 games, about 4 games under 500, I think a lot of people are going to dissipate away from the Royals and focus more kind of on the draft and OTAs, how football kind of gets the thing going. And they're going to have to win those fans back. And so if you want to win those fans back and be that center of attention and be that playoff team, this is the time of year right now with these good teams to go show who you are, because you can beat up on Colorado. You can beat up on, the White Sox. You can beat up on the Twins. But when you face the teams that you look at as your peers and teams that you're kind of chasing for that, right to win the division and all that kind of stuff, you got to take care of business. And if you don't take care of business against the Yankees and Tigers, then you're probably in that secondary category of it may not be a playoff season this year. And that's okay. Doesn't work out every year.
No doubt. We will have a special guest in studio starting at 7 o'clock, so you'll want to stay tuned for that because the show will go completely off the rails. I can promise you that. And
may never get back on either.
I don't think it will. And then also, coming up on the other side, I think last night stings a little bit more because of the opponent. Why do you hate the Yankees? 913-586-7965. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens. How you doing? Remember that first time you failed to perform in the bedroom? You probably just laughed it off, no big deal, but then it happened again and again and again and then again. Now you know it's a problem. Erectile dysfunction is the intimacy destroyer. Research shows that men can draw apart from their partners when ED affects their sex life. The condition can cause stress, anxiety, and even depression. Even worse, a man's partner can start to blame themselves when the ED becomes a problem. How many guys out there have mediocre sex life? It's just good enough, or it could be really good. Maybe the pills are just working okay, but they could be better. There are a few things more wonderful in life than intimacy. But when erectile dysfunction harms intimacy, it can have a devastating effect on a relationship. Heartland Men's Health has treatments with success rates well over 99%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. So schedule a visit with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99, and it includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work, your in-office visit is free. They have an expert staff, and if you're like a lot of men, I'm talking to you guys, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations, as always, to serve you: Overland Park, Kansas, Independence, Missouri, and their new office in North Kansas City. So go visit my people at Heartland Men's Health today.
I'll tell you what, my lawn looks absolutely outstanding, and I have the friends of mine over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control to thank for that because they've done an unbelievable job. It's only been a couple of weeks, but boy, the difference that they have made in my lawn already is astounding because for a decade plus, we've tried and tried and tried to get that lawn looking good, whether it be the weeds, whether it be the trees, whatever it was. We just couldn't figure things out. So we waved the white flag and said, call the college-educated professionals over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control and get them out here and let them take care of the yard. They've cut it a couple of times now. They put the fertilizer down, the pre-emergence down. There's no dandelions. It looks great. I'm looking at my yard and I'm going, man, I do now have the best lawn on the block. And I'm also excited for the Aspen Lawn and Pest Control mosquito dome that's going to be put over the house as well. And it's going to keep all the mosquitoes out, the ticks out, the fleas out. Not going to have to worry about any of that this summer, so I can sit outside and know I'm not going to get eaten alive, and my dog is going to be safe as well. You tell them you heard this ad right here on 96.5 The Fan, and they're going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application. They also offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. So expect the best. Don't wait. Call them today, or better yet, just visit them at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
During the NBA play-in tournament, FanDuel is giving all customers a shot at $250 in bonus bets. Join FanDuel today, and you'll get started with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. From three-pointers to steals to assists, FanDuel has so many ways to bet your favorite player props. Plus, after the game tips off, you can even combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. Just visit FanDuel.com/Alex to get in on all the NBA play-in tournament action. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. Here's the best part. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Not happy? They'll come back between visits to make it right. Don't wait. Head to truegreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Baseball is back. Time to get your game day grill going. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal at the ballpark or sear the best steak ever while listening to the game on the deck, Booth Creek Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week and then receive free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey guys, it's Cody Tapp, and I'm down 30 pounds in 6 weeks thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. And now I get free support for life. Make the same great decision I did and give them a call, 844-346-8888.
800-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown, 15 minutes. Kansas side 70 eastbound from 435 to 670 is an 11-minute drive. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Rocking the tunes this morning, Mac. Way to go.
This is the Group Tenders.
Now 0-1 in the pitch. And a swing and a high fly ball. Deep right center field. Isbell going back. Isbell climbing the wall. It's gone.
Why do you hate Steve Stewart?
It's into the Yankee bullpen. Jazz Chisholm ties the game. 1-1 here in the fourth inning.
I hate to be this guy, but I would much have rather lost last night's game 4-0 if Aaron Judge hit a grand slam than to watch Jazz Chisholm hit a home run.
Get a home run? Yeah.
There's just not many athletes, and that's why I love sports, that I hate more. Now, I don't hate him as a person. I just hate him for the athlete and the Yankee that he has become. Because in Florida, Jazz Chisholm, I didn't care. And then of all people, it's just like, that's the guy. That guy has to hit one, and then the floodgates are open.
Yeah, I liked him when he was in Miami. We did our baseball trip a few years ago, and he was playing, and I texted somebody with the Royals at the time, and I said, you guys need to go get Jazz Chisholm. He'd be a nice addition to the ball club. And nobody went out and got Jazz Chisholm because he was in Miami. And then, obviously the Yankees get whoever the Yankees want when it's all said and done, except for the Dodgers in this day and age. But he's the perfect heel. He needs to embrace it more. He needs to be that guy that embraces the hate around Major League Baseball because that's good for the sport. You know, like the New England Patriots were back in the day. You hated the New England Patriots or you loved the New England Patriots. Jazz needs to be that guy. I don't know if baseball has enough, if you will, cachet across the country for somebody to be that hated guy, in Major League Baseball, but Jazz sure as hell can embrace it. That little dance before he touched home plate last night, if I was Salvi, I'd have popped the dude, man. Like, what are we doing here, right? Like, pop that guy. Let's go.
Yeah. The little Euro step celebration. What do you see when Fernando Tatis hits home
I
run? He
love
goes
it.
to third base. So
it's great.
That's what's great. Like, I don't hate Fernando Tatis. Plays in San Diego. Irrelevant.
But he's not.
Oh, he's that guy.
He's not. For Jazz Chisholm, though, Jazz runs his mouth, tried to fight at second base. Like, Fernando Tatis just plays the game and dominates,
And he's much better, so it's easier to see somebody kind of get away with the flashiness. But, like, I was talking to you guys about this yesterday, like our post show. And I'm like, why do you think people hate the Yankees?
Because their grandfather hated them from the 70s when they lost the games. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. So why don't people hate the Dodgers?
Because we've never played the Dodgers in those series. I mean, and look, the Dodgers are the kind of the new kid on the block. The Yankees are, that kid that's been there forever, that everybody always has hated. And you're told to hate the Yankees, even though they haven't won a title since 2009. And quite frankly, the Royals haven't been really relevant in the era that the Yankees were good in to even have any sort of rivalry. And that's why sometimes I wonder, I'm like, you hate the Yankees because of, Nettles back in the 80s and 70s punching George Brett, and you hate them because of Goose Gossage and all of that kind of stuff. And most people will say, yeah, but the Royals-Yankee rivalry getting renewed last year was awesome. It was great. But that was the first time in 40-some years, almost 50 years, that the games meant anything between the Royals and Yankees.
Yeah, I think I kind of just don't like the Yankees because, I don't know, obviously as a kid growing up in the 90s, they were like what the Dodgers are doing today. They just bought everybody, right? Like, Giambi wins MVP in Oakland, and then all of a sudden he's playing first base for the Yankees because Tino's done.
Right.
A-Rod of all teams, like, had to go to the Yankees. Made him hate me that much more.
Do you realize, like, Bobby Witt's making $100 million more than A-Rod made in his contract with the Yankees when he signed that? That was such a big deal.
And already outplaying him.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
And, you see, like, guys like Roger Clemens go there, Andy Pettitte. Then you have the steroid era, and, like, 2 of those guys, 3 of those guys, 4 of those guys are on that team. So it just kind of was annoying. But I also think the reason that I don't like the Yankees is kind of the same way that, like, people tend to hate teams that have been good for many, many years. And that is, like, their snobby presence. And look, there's many teams that have this. And I think the Jayhawks are one of them. like, oh, you got to go to a game in Allen. They do this video. They have, and again, I'm not dogging it. It's your thing. But like, that's why people tend to do it. Like, to me, people in the EPL, at least not for the last 5 to 7 to maybe 10 years, it was Manchester United.
Oh, God, yeah.
All their traditions, all their stuff. Like, even Rory McIlroy's like, maybe they'll let me go to a game in Old Trafford with a green jacket on to turn things around. Since they got rid of, or since Sir Alex Ferguson, like, sat down, they've never been the same team since. And there's people that are just like, yeah, it's like their songs, it's their chants, it's their demeanor. Like the Red Devils, we're better than you. The Yankees, we've got Monument Park. We had Babe Ruth. We have the beautiful state. God, it's a beautiful stadium. But like all this stuff. And then you hear the crowds always chant everybody's name in right field until they get acknowledged. And then they're playing like some weird Darth Vader sounder. And when there's like a 1-2 count that I noticed last night. And I think that's more why there's hatred. And like I always steal this from Danny Parkins because I thought it was
sounds like
great.
the same thing they play on third downs at Arrowhead. Actually, is what it is when there's 2 strikes. It's that
it's like a Darth Vader breathing.
No, it's the horn from like a lighthouse that they play on third down. Like,
I just kept hearing. Yeah,
it's that sound. They play that on
Wagyu's on Thursdays.
Yeah, but they play that sound on
good.
that was really good. Yeah, maybe we should use that as the cow sound now, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But they play that on third downs at Arrowhead. They play that with 2 strikes at Yankee Stadium. So it's that same sounder.
Yeah,
it's the exact same sounder.
And I think that like, because man, I don't know. Because, like, we were talking about the Chiefs, too. Like, we're like, do people hate the Chiefs? And, like, Mac's like, well, in the last, like, 10 years, yes. But longevity, no. But, like, there is this thing that, like, comes with winning consistently, like, throughout time. And I think, a lot of people hate Duke, right?
Because it's jealousy is what it is.
And it's also, like, deserving. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, for me, like, you hate in school, like, you hate the guy that's popular because he's just genetically blessed. You're like, how come I don't have a square jaw with a little butthole on my chin with a nice smile who gets the nice hot chick?
Well, you can go
and
into therapy like Tom did and get that taken care of.
Right. And so, like, I think that's kind of how I see, like, the hatred for the Yankees. And I think the text line says it, too. He's like, I don't like the Yankees because of their fans. They act like they deserve everything. And the first in my family to watch baseball, so I didn't have that connection in the past with the Royals. But they've grown to see that and watch it develop. And I think that's kind of the way it is. Like, you look at their park's small, right? They have a bunch of offensive numbers. Every year they're like one or the top 3 in offense. Like, we celebrate like Aaron Judge, and it's like, well, what has he actually accomplished? It's like all this sort of stuff other than MVPs. But like, again, like people say, I hate the Yankees because they can buy everyone so their fans act snooty and they have 27 World Series wins. And that's fine because like we hated the Patriots, but we hated the Patriots because we knew they cheated. We had reason to know why. The Yankees, it's like for years it was like, oh, if they want somebody, they'll just go buy them, which they can still do. And again, that's not a Yankee problem. That's a baseball problem.
Yeah.
But they are that team that is like an outlier where they can just go spend and buy, and they've done it. And 27 times they've been successful, more than like any other franchise in baseball, it seems. But like, I think the reason you hate them is because of all the stuff that comes with the team, not necessarily the players. You begin to hate the players because they wear the pinstripes. Like, I don't like Jazz Chisholm because it's like when he put that on, he became like Tom Hardy in Venom. It just like took over him, and it's like this Yankee evilness like spews out. Plus, there is the value of envious. Like, I am envious that like my team in Kansas City has to like hope and pray that it works out for MJ Melendez, where if like he's in New York, he's gone, and they're going to find somebody else and fixing the problem. So I envy that as well, which creates that anger. And hate.
But that anger shouldn't be a Yankee anger. That's a baseball anger, and the Yankees are the product of baseball, allowing the system to be where it is, where certain teams can go out and buy their franchises. Now, I will say this about the Yankees and Dodgers. They've done a really nice job of developing their own talent. The Dodgers, I think, have the 3rd best minor league system right now in Major League Baseball. They have developed homegrown talent. All those guys on the Yankees, when they were good back in the day, the core of that team, Pettit, Mariano, Posada, Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, those are all homegrown guys. Now, did they have the means to be able to sign those guys and not get to year 6, like Eric Hosmer and company did, and everybody had to dissipate and go away, to another organization? Sure, they do have that wherewithal. But again, that's not the Yankees. That's the system, and that's the Yankees. I hate saying the term taking advantage of the system, but using the system for what it is. And that's a baseball thing. And until baseball changes that, teams are going to continue to do what they need to do, what they feel that they need to do to win, even if that means, running over everybody else in their way, which is, the rest of Major League Baseball. You got the Dodgers, you got the Cubs, you got the Yankees, you got the Boston Red Sox, you got a couple of these big spenders, and then it's everybody else in Major League Baseball. And so the Yankees have just done a nice job of taking advantage of this situation, and they figured it out. They said, okay, this is the way it's going to be. Fine. We've got the means. We've got the ability to do it. Think of it like this. It's like a parent. Your dad is the president of, I'm just going to throw out IBM for lack of a better company, nice. and somebody else's dad is not that job. Well, the kid whose father's the president of IBM is probably going to be offered and afforded different opportunities than the kid whose father's not the president of IBM. And that's called life. That's a meritocracy. I mean, that's kind of the way it works. Do we like it for baseball? No, we don't like it for baseball. But that's the way baseball is right now. And until baseball is willing to change the way that they go about business and the way that they operate, why should the Yankees? Why should the Dodgers? Why should the Mets? Why should the Red Sox? Why should any of those teams say, hey, I'm able to provide nice vacations, nice things, good stuff for my kids. Why should I stop doing that because the guy down the street is not able to do that? Until we equal the system, then that's just the way it's going to be. And so the Yankees are afforded a luxury because of where they are and their lot in life. But Major League Baseball has an opportunity to fix it, but it doesn't feel like they're interested in fixing that and making it even across the board. And the Players Association is definitely not interested in fixing that system and making it even across the board. Because I maintain if you have a salary cap and a salary floor, more guys are going to get paid than just a couple of guys that are getting paid by the Yankees or Dodgers. But the Players Association doesn't see that way, and that's why we're staring down a work stoppage in 2027, which more information came out on that with the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. contract. He's still going to get paid in 2027 because it's a bonus, not a salary.
Smart man.
And it's very smart man
Great
to do
agent.
it that way. Great agent. But that just shows you more and more there may be a major work stoppage.
Right.
And if there's a work stoppage, then the game really needs to be fixed. And I maintain if there's a work stoppage and the game is fixed, and it becomes like the NFL, fans will flock back to baseball.
Somebody says, don't worry, Dusty, relax. Chisholm will probably go 0 for 4 tonight with 3 strikeouts. I hope.
He might.
Great. Again, I'm terrified of walking that ballpark tonight. And I think that's okay to be that concerned.
That's fine.
I mean, again, I'm just going off what I've seen. But,
get him to hit it to the gaps, though, in center field. Center field's 408 at Yankee Stadium. And it's 410 at here. Everybody thinks Yankee Stadium's a small ballpark. I think it's like 375 or 385 to the alleys. It's 335 down the left field line, and it's 314 down the right field line. So, yeah, the Yankees do have an advantage. Don't let them pull the ball.
Yeah. Or
lefties
worry about your own team learning how to hit the ball before you worry about the other team hitting the ball.
Yeah, there is that too. Yeah,
you can only control what you can control.
And this may be now a situation where you're in a funk after 17 games from an offensive standpoint, which, again, here we are, right? Maybe this is where Q comes into play and say, all right, we're going to start, starting runners. We're going to bunt. We're going to hit and run. We're going to go the opposite way. At times they let analytics, dictate a lot of stuff. This is sometimes maybe you got to go on feel and you can't worry about what, Harvard nerd is saying. And you got to go out there and lay down the bunt. You got to go down there and move the runners. You got to hit behind the guy, play old school type of baseball to try to get your offense jump-started a little bit. And instead of going up there and playing for these 3 true outcomes, which drive me absolutely nuts, which is a home run, a walk, and a strikeout, which I still don't understand, go out there and sacrifice yourself. Go out there and bunt. Go out there and move a runner. Go out there and try to steal a run early on in these games. You got a good guy at the top of your lineup. Maybe he leads off with a bunt tonight, drags one down the first base line, gets on base. Now you got Bobby coming up, steals second. Bobby smacks one the opposite way. You're up 1-0. Like, you've got maybe to start doing some of that kind of stuff to try to break them out of their funk. Because if you go up there and you can continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results, well, that's the definition of insanity. You can't continue to do that. So maybe this is where Q comes into play a little bit and says, here's what we're going to do tonight, guys. We're going to try to manufacture runs. We're going to try to get things started to get everybody out of their funk. And maybe when you send MJ Melendez up there, maybe he bunts. And I don't want to hear he's not a good bunter. You're a Major League Baseball player. If you can't bunt, go sell sandwiches.
Hopefully you can make contact with the bunt.
Well, there's that too.
Yep. Yeah. The task does not get any easier tonight. Max Fried on the mound, 2-0, carries a sub-2 ERA going up against Michael Wacha.
He's got 11 pitches, Max Fried.
Well, if the game goes like it did last time, I'm going to be Dusty fried by the time we get to the 7th inning, because that was just That was painful to watch last night. We compared 09 to Cole Reagan's, which is Zach Greinke's year, which if the offense continues like this, you will see that because the Royals will win every fifth day. And if they lose, it'll be 1-0. But this was the conversation we had with Vern yesterday about Reagan's being the best trade of all time for the Royals.
Fifth. I was asked that question on the post-game show. I put the Kane and Esky deal number 1.
In history of the franchise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I put that number 1. I think you have to go Wade Davis, James Shields 2, maybe Hal McRae 3, Amos Otis 4, and then Cole Reagan's in the 5 spot, just because those top 4 all have pennants or world titles.
So 5th on the list of Vern.
I've been wrestling with this one
but
for a while.
But the end of that audio, if you missed it, you can check out the podcast page. He does say that Reagan's could leapfrog 2 or 3 spots, depending on where this team ends up and how Reagan's career ends up in Kansas City. But yeah, you said you've been mind wrestling this thought?
Yeah, the Hal and Amos ones, I totally understand those and why they're in there and the importance and the significance the significance of those 2 players in Royals history. The Kane-Esky trade set up the entire 14-15 run. Without that trade, we don't win. We don't even get to the playoffs, right? Wade Davis, obviously, that became a huge trade. We're not in the postseason. We're not revitalizing this franchise without those trades. Those were baller moves by Dayton and company back in the day. The Reagans one, baller move as well. Yeah, the baller move really in all of that was, signing Aroldis Chapman, knowing that you were going to trade him, being upfront and honest with him and saying, hey, we're not going to be very good this year. We're bringing you in to try to trade you for somebody else. We'll trade you to a contender. Lo and behold, you got Cole Reagan's in return. There are a lot of trades that have occurred in Royals history, as we talked about yesterday, that were bad for the Royals. The Damon, the Dye, the Beltran, the David Cohn trade 1 and 2, all not good for the Royals at those point in time. There's only one trade, though, Dusty, that he left out that I'm thinking, maybe it could be on that list. Do you know which one I'm thinking of?
J.P. Howe for Joey Gathright.
No, but that's a good one. I do like that trade. Ben Zobrist. The Ben Zobrist trade is not on there.
Do you win the World Series without
I
it?
don't think so. I really don't. Do you think we win it without Ben Zobrist? I don't think we do.
Because he's what you
either.
missed in 14, and you replaced it in 15, and everything just was set.
He was the perfect addition
And
to
don't
this
show
team.
me that lineup because I will lose my control, because that lineup is just, to this day, my favorite Royals lineup.
It was so much fun because it was just one after another, after another, after another, after another, right? It wasn't a bunch of big home run hitters. It wasn't a bunch of MVPs and all-stars.
Line moving guys.
It was just line moving guys. You need a single, fine, let's get a base hit. You need a double, fine, Haas gap one. Moose, do something fun. You had those guys every night. It was a professional at bat. Obviously, the game has changed over the last 10 years where striking out is rewarded with ribbons and medals. I just think the Ben Zobrist trade probably has to be in there some way, somehow. And I don't know which one you replace. And maybe it is Cole Reagan's right now. Maybe Cole Reagan's is 6th on that list, and Ben Zobrist is 5 because Ben Zobrist led you to a world championship, and Reagan's hasn't done that yet, and there's still plenty of time for Reagan's to move up that list. So would anybody argue Ben Zobrist being ahead of Cole Reagan's on that list?
Yeah, because of the outcome and what it was. I mean, you created a World Series champion with that move for your franchise and your team. So I mean, it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 100%
because Vern even said those other guys led to pennants, right?
Right.
Ben Zobrist led to a pennant as well.
Yeah,
and a championship.
I kind of always go back to that J.P. Howell trade because I remember he was the guy out of Texas, supposed to be a future, and then we got Joey Gathright. And it was Joey Gathright, this guy that's fast and agile and can move and play defense. Oh, so that was the foreshadowing of what was to come.
Yeah, right.
It's all we had known about Joey Gathright at the time is that he jumped over a moving car.
He jumped over a car,
and then he came to Kansas City, and Dayton's we're just trying to build a solid foundation of speed and defense. Well, you need people to get on base for the speed to be an outcome. That's, I think, the other thing that's the red flag is a lot of people say, yeah, you can bunt, but nobody's on base. Yeah, your top guys aren't hitting. Nobody's hitting except Bobby Wood Jr.
Exactly.
That's it. Michael Garcia, I'll give him the credit of that. But I'm like you, you said, this is where Q comes into play. When your offense is this bad, you either got to burn some sage, sacrifice a cricket, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or what you do is, again, I don't know.
Or just jumble the lineup. Just draw names out of a hat.
Put it in a Yahtzee container and throw it out, and then everyone you flip up is Now, obviously, you just leave Bobby Witt at 2, and then everybody else is just shuffled. I don't care if Vinny Pasquantino leads off.
Yeah, I don't either.
Maybe it's a way to do it.
Yeah,
So.
but that would be kind of funny. How did you come up with the lineup? And they get mad.
Yeah.
We don't just draw this stuff out of a hat. Well, maybe you should. Try it. Why not? What the hell?
Yeah, you got to get out of this funk, man. That's for sure. Coming up on the other side here on Fescoe and Dusty, we get into our Hot Corner / Tough Tuesday. It's tough for everybody but Bob and Mac on Tuesdays. Must be nice.
It is Tuesday.
I just want to win, Jen. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
I just want to win, Jen.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens. I know it's spring. You do the spring clean. You're getting rid of some things. Well, hey, before you get rid of that car, go see my friends at GiveMeTheVin.com. They want to buy your car, whether it's your daily driver, pickup truck, SUV, minivan, supercar, or exotic. Give Me The VIN is also the best place to sell your classic or collectible, whether it's one car or a collection. They want your muscle car, hot rod, or your old square body pickup, and they love buying resto mod. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com or GMTVCC.com to sell your classics or collectible car or truck. And forget about those tire kickers on social media. Say goodbye to dealing with dealerships and private sale tire kickers and get a true buy offer for your car. GiveMeTheVin.com puts your car right on the money, providing you with a hassle-free online option to sell your car for more. It's literally super easy. You know the jingle. It's so easy you can do it in your underwear. Play it, boys.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Honey, it's me, your wife. Sorry to bother you, but this house is a mess. The windows are drafty, the vinyl siding has cracks and holes in it, and the kids just fell through the deck. We need Powell Exteriors KC now. They install James Hardie siding, Provia windows, Renaissance patio products, beautiful decks, roofing, and more, all at 0% interest for 18 months. Go to PowellKC.com and see for yourself. Powell Exteriors KC. The best decision you've made since you married me.
If you're like me and you're trying to break through that boring lunch routine, I've got the option for you. I discovered lunch at Hy-Vee Market Grill. Forget the after-lunch fast food coma. The Hy-Vee Market Grill offers fast and fresh options with made-to-order burgers, salads, sandwiches, and wraps, like the 3-cheese patty melt, the crispy chicken or Cobb salad, BLT or tenderloin sandwich, and my personal favorite, the peanut butter bacon burger. For high quality and great value, freshen up your lunch routine at the Hy-Vee Market Grill today.
Hop into Hy-Vee for all your Easter needs, like baskets, candy, chocolate bunnies, and more. Treat your family to Easter brunch at the Market Grill. Just $24.99 for adults, $7.99 for children, and kids 5 and under eat free. Staying home? Try Hy-Vee's Easter meal deal for just $30. Get all the fixins you need to feed your ducklings spiral sliced ham, russet potatoes and gravy, green bean casserole, and bakery fresh rolls. Make this your most excellent Easter ever, only at Hy-Vee.
As you prepare for Easter and Memorial Day family gatherings, don't forget Gates sauces and seasonings. They're great on all meats, fish, chicken, and veggies, as well as hot buttered popcorn. A topping for your dips. Or sprinkle Gates seasonings on your chips and nuts for that extra flavor pop. Nothing says Easter Sunday or Memorial Day like a Gates party tray. Or use Gates sauces and seasonings to embellish your home-cooked meal. Gates Barbecue. Thanks with love.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
This hour on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week and then receive free support for life. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side inbound I-70, a little slow past 470 over towards Nolan. 71 northbound, sluggish from 87th up towards Gregory with a report of a stalled off to the shoulder around 75th Street. Kansas side 635 southbound, slow rolling from Shawnee Drive down to I-35. Alan Corrin, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Straight out the trap, dude. New Music Mac, gang, gang, baby.
What it do?
Light it up. 647. Who gives a rip, dude? Oh,
this is hot.
This is like the Yaya twins.
Did somebody just drop this track?
That's exactly right. Someone just laid down this sick beat for us.
Is this Darren Waller's new bit? You know, he raps now.
You know what we should... He was doing that about a year ago.
He's even elevated.
Oh, he's elevated
now?
now?
He's staying outside of Allegiant Stadium.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, God.
They can't hold me, dog.
Yeah, because you don't play.
What do you remember from his era with the Giants?
Oh,
nothing.
A lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know that he got a lot. Did he get a lot of money?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
The fantasy football hype was through the roof.
He's found it, man.
Oh, yeah. Did he play a game?
A game.
Did he play a game?
Did he play more games than Evan Ingram as a Giant?
Ooh, no.
I was just saying, Ingram missed like a year and a half.
Yeah,
But his rookie year, I think he played most of the season. Yeah, Darren Waller, man. He was supposed to ball out for the Giants.
Yeah, he did not. No.
And then he found out that he could be a better rapper than a tight end.
Yeah, which is fine. Go do your thing. I have no ill
Do
will
you,
towards
boo.
that. Yeah, you want to do you do you, man. Who the hell's going to get in your way? But if we're looking for new music, I'm sure we can, get the old number 5s to create us a new
anything.
Just something, please guys. Seriously, we're in this music snag again here.
Or we could do nice things. And if you're a up and coming young talent or talent in Kansas City and you want your music to be played, hey,
hit us up.
It's not as long as it's not licensed.
Yeah, as long as it's not licensed, we'll play it.
You guys
we'll
need
help you
to talk
out.
to Columbia Records about. Oh, okay. Well, we can't have you. You're too much for our pay
Yeah,
grade.
exactly. Sorry.
Oh boy. All right. So could say it's a tough Tuesday for Seth Lugo, but he doesn't make the list of our names on this list. So we can dive into our hot corner on a Tuesday, Mr. Fescoe.
Yeah, I'm going to get started. I'm actually going to change it up.
Oh, okay.
But I will go with Kevin Durant because, again, this guy looking to be traded. I mean, come on now, again. Like, Kevin Durant has one goal in mind: play for every team in the NBA, right? And
So
then look
he's
around
Ricky
and go,
Henderson?
No, Ricky only played for the A's and Yankees. Did he? Did he play for anybody else?
Are you serious?
Ricky Henderson?
Yeah, dude, it's like 8, 9 teams.
No, it's not. It is absolutely not 8 or 9 teams. I know him as an A and a Yankee. I don't know Ricky Henderson on any other team than that. Did he have a hot cup of coffee with the Dodgers maybe at the end?
Yeah, it's a few teams for sure.
Is it?
Yeah, the Dodgers, Anaheim. These are all 1 year.
Okay.
Toronto, Boston.
God, he played on
Seattle.
all those teams?
He went to the Mets, the Padres.
Ricky Henderson?
That's 8.
Good Lord.
And then, then of course, the Yankees.
So he played for 10 different MLB
I
teams.
had no idea he
I thought
played
you were
for that.
trolling me for a second. I'm
No,
like, dude, this is like pretty known that he played for everybody.
I had no idea Ricky Henderson played for that many teams.
A lot of cups of coffee.
God bless, man. Like, did he have, jeez.
R.I.P., dude.
Wow. I had no idea he played for that many teams.
Yeah,
but
5 of those teams were for 1 year.
Still,
but
Still there, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Still there. It counts. Obviously,
he
no.
was the first Harrison Bader.
Yeah, like how did I not know that? Like I'm pissed at myself for not knowing that kind of information. But
yeah, dude,
journeyman. Yeah, but he wasn't. He was a hell of a base stealer.
Yeah.
But so no, my hot corner this week goes to the city of KC Mo. They released a letter on Monday. I don't know if you guys saw this one. Probably not, because I just did. The leaders from the Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce have released a letter. Quote, all of our major league franchises are more than teams. They fuel our economy, strengthen our community, and are a beloved part of the region's identity. Time remains our collective enemy in this process. Losing these franchises would erase decades of progress and pride. Now is the time for leaders, the teams, and the community to unite as partners, identify a solution, and maintain our region's momentum, securing our region's future as a premier sports destination for generations to come. It is, regardless of what side of the state line they're on. This is a stupid statement by Kansas City to kind of put that out there, because these teams aren't leaving the region. If they go anywhere, it's across the state line to Kansas. But again, it's fear-mongering by the media, because it says the Kansas City business and civic organizations are calling on state and local leaders to act quickly to ensure that the Chiefs and Royals remain in the region. Overland Park, KCK, that's the region, folks. That's the region, okay? That's all that matters, is that they remain in the region. What we're looking at is that these guys are trying to keep them, obviously, on the KC Mo side because of the financial impact, and I appreciate that. But again, this is the second group that has now said time remains our collective enemy in the process, going back to that 3D Holdings who said time is ticking against us for the downtown project. So we'll see where all this ends up.
I heard 119th and Null is a possibility.
It is it's a big pot. It's the best financial deal the Royals are going to get, and that is a fact. If they take that deal, great. If they don't, that's fine too. But the best financial deal that the Royals are going to get is at 119th and Null from the state of Kansas.
Wake me up when stadiums end. Mac, who's your tough Tuesday hot corner?
Warriors lost to the Clippers last game of the season on Sunday.
see it.
Wouldn't have been able to watch it because it was right during the Masters.
And Hemi Butler got hurt.
Yeah, and Hemi Butler got hurt, and he couldn't guard. He couldn't guard Kawhi Leonard, so he lost to the Clippers. He could not guard Kawhi Leonard.
The claw.
Yeah, so now the Warriors in the play-in game, they'll have to beat the Grizzlies. I believe that's tonight to get the 7 seed and to play the Houston Rockets, one of the youngest, hottest teams in the league. So that's tough, man. That sucks.
Wake me up when the NBA ends.
You got a while. See you in July.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be sleeping.
Yep. Got 7 series, every single
exactly.
series.
Can't wait.
Got to watch the Celtics and Hawks play 5 games for a gentleman's
Let's go.
sweep.
Please.
7 games.
How
for
many
some of
gentlemen's
these.
sweeps do we get in the first round of the NBA? 3?
8 series. I'd say the over-under.
Oklahoma will give one. Boston will give one.
You don't want to let anybody
Cleveland.
win a game to give them any sort of sense that they can win something.
NBA is like the king of gentlemen's sweeps.
Gentleman sweeps huge.
Then just go to 5 games for this first round.
I agree.
Or 3.
It used to be.
Yeah.
3 would be fine too, or a one and done. Play your ass off for a series, for a game.
Yeah, I think
See
5
who
games
really
is great.
wants it. Why does everything have to be a series? Why can't we just do the best of one in that first round?
Yeah, just make Breaking Bad one episode.
Yeah.
Do it in 45 minutes. That'd be the most intense one.
But I mean, the NFL does it with one game. Why-
Well,
I mean,
hey, the play-ins tonight. It's one game.
it's one game, but the loser still gets another opportunity.
If you're the 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're the 9 or 10, see you.
Yeah,
And
you're
if you
out.
play on the road and you're wearing your alternate jerseys and it's in
court
That's
60
right. The
degree
game
weather.
is
yeah.
sold out, and
Yeah.
it's south of the Mason-Dixon line,
Yeah.
west of the Mississippi, and in Texas, then you get another opportunity.
Yeah, more similar. Nikola Jokic and his brother, or 1999 Royals baseball stats during a Wednesday getaway game in the NBA playoffs. Like, Mike DeFelice is 8 for 19 in day games when the sun is high at its peak.
That is a baseball stat. I'll take anybody 8 for 19 at this point in time,
Right.
though. I don't care where they are.
Give me Rockets over Lakers. You don't say that. You don't say that. My tough Tuesday is Tanner Houck. I mean, sometimes, man, you have a tough day at the office, man. You know, you get here and, you know, your work has dissipated throughout the week, or, you know, everybody just kind of seems like they're against you. Tanner Houck last night, man. God, dog. This man, I hope, for whatever sake he needs to get over a bad day, he had it. 10 hits last night. 12 runs, 11 of them earned, 2 home runs allowed, and 2 in the third innings.
Well, at least they left him in there.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I would have Vin Mazzaro'd that thing up and said, sorry, sir, you're pitching the rest of the game.
That's a tough stat line to look at. That's like getting on the scale Monday morning. Like, I gained 8 pounds over Saturday and
you
Sunday.
never look at the scale on Monday. You wait
Always
on Wednesday.
Friday. Yeah. Friday's weigh-in day. But yeah, 2 1/3 innings last night for Tanner Houck in Boston. They lost 16-1 to the Rays.
Sad for him. Yeah.
2 homers allowed, 11 earned runs, 12 runs total, and 10 hits.
Worst outing by a Red Sox pitcher in more than 60 years.
Brutal, dude. Like Babe Ruth was still on the team when this was this bad. I kid, but like that's one of those things where it's like, hopefully like in a week from now or 2 weeks from now, they can be like, hey, Tanner, at least you're not paying the Rays. Oh, great. But hey, good game tonight. 7 innings, 3 hits, whatever. But like, good hell, that's a line. Somebody said on Twitter he pulled a triple-double last night.
Damn, that's actually
10
crazy.
hits, 12 runs, and 11 earned, man.
Wow.
Like, you just got to, man, short-term memory loss, I guess, is the best one.
That's not good. Yeah, you got to do better than that.
Yeah, text line, that guy had a triple-double. Damn right he did.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Boston. Oh. Who's like more excusably to like? Red Sox or Padres? They're essentially the same team doing what the team that's always ahead of them doing the same thing that they're doing.
I love the Padres.
But they're the same as the Dodgers. Like they literally buy their entire roster. But we like them because they're not LA. Whereas outside of New York, people rooted for Boston, but you're like, dude, Boston paid for everybody too.
Yeah,
like,
it's a good comparison. It really is. But the Padres, for me, I love everything about the Padres. I love the uniforms. I love the players. I love their announcers. I love their stadium. I love their atmosphere. There's nothing more fun than watching a Padres game in baseball. They just bring the fun, and it's so awesome to see these fans and the way that they're loving it up. It's their only pro franchise. They've rallied around it. That baseball team said, all right, fine, the NFL left. Let's take advantage of this. Let's put the best product out there on the field. I love watching the Padres play. They're a blast to watch.
We love watching Patrick Mahomes play, and on the other side, we compare his career to a book that is yet to be finished. Kind of like George R.R. Martin, right? Get to it, George. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Michael Waka, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, listen up, Missouri sports fans, because the Underdog app is now available to play in your state, and it became one of the best places to make entries during the basketball playoffs with their Extender promo. With the Extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boosts. And right now with Underdog, you can play in the state of Missouri. Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. I love the Underdog app because you can do so many different things with the Underdog app. It's the leading place to make all of your sports selections. And like I said, you can now play in the state of Missouri. To play, all you have to do is download the app and choose whether a player will go higher or lower than one of their stats. You can choose from things like points, assists, and so much more. And you can do what I do. You can do all basketball selections, or you can mix and match across other sports. So download the Underdog app now, sign up with promo code BOB, and unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit with promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Guys, let's talk about your prostate. If an enlarged prostate has you rushing to the nearest restroom, frustrated and uncomfortable because you need to go but can't, or it's keeping you up at night, it's time to fix it. Clarity Care offers prostate artery embolization. PAE is a simple office treatment that can shrink your prostate and relieve your symptoms so you can get back to enjoying life. No surgery, just relief. Call Clarity Care today or visit kcprostate.com.
Hey, it's Cody Tapp, and if you're in the same boat as me, you're looking at someone, you're like, I can't keep living like this. I want to get to my weight loss goal. I want to finally meet those things. Well, I did. 6 weeks, 30 pounds. That's what I did over at Awaken 180's at-home program. I worked with them over the phone. I got online. They got a great app. See what recipes they had available for me. See what things they had to make it easy to do this process with them. I know you want to find out more. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com, and see how with no medications, no gym, and no calorie counting, just the support every week and free support for life. Look, summer's coming up. Maybe it's the pool, maybe it's vacation, maybe you just want more energy to play with your kids or be at those youth sports like I wanted. You can do all of that thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Find out more. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
Ring the bell! We've done it again. Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875% fixed. While other lenders are talking about high interest rates, we're dropping rates. And we can get it done for you in as little as 14 days. Golden Oak Lending has just secured several $1 million that we can offer you as fixed-rate mortgages for 4.875%. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. It's fast and easy. Our debt consolidation customers save an average of $1,104 every month. And at Golden Oak, you never pay for your appraisal up front. Lock in this incredible 4.875% rate now before it's too late and say goodbye to those high-interest credit card rates. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Royals coverage sponsored by Border Magic. We've got the edge for your landscaping edging needs.
Boost your curb appeal and add value with custom concrete landscape edging from Border Magic. Choose from a huge variety of styles and colors, all backed by a 10-year warranty. A cost-effective way to give your home that wow factor. Get started now at SouthKCBorderMagic.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
In downtown, 35 northbound slowing past 670 and then stay slow up past 12th Street with construction taking away the right lane. 71 northbound still slow rolling from 87th up towards Gregory. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
What's up, KC? This is Matt Quattrero. On your way home from the ballpark, make sure to listen to Vern's postgame show right here on 96.5 The Fan. I will not be listening.
96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Well, I mean, this is one way you really wake up the city is with beats like this. I mean, this is
this Beats by Dre? What is this?
This is Tech Booty.
Tech Booty.
Tech Booty.
Yeah. you can thank the licensing act for that.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. This makes you want to go back to like 1982 and hang out with like Robert Redford.
Pop a glow stick in your mouth and dance around some nightclub, right? And foam.
I mean, whatever you got to do it. I don't know, but this is intense.
I wanted a foam party for our wedding at a reception, and my wife said no. Too many people would fall.
We are in studio now, joined with a special guest. Mr. Frank Caliendo joins us. Just hit that little red button, and you're live.
I'll do what I want.
Okay, fair enough.
This
is going great.
The first meeting of me, you were real excited to meet me in person, and now it's over with.
And now you're like, oh, you really met this guy in person? It's like everybody wants to meet you, and then they meet you, and they're like, God, that guy sucks.
It's over.
Yeah,
Shorter.
they say don't meet your heroes. Oof, yeah. I found out in 10 seconds.
And
this guy's a bag.
And don't even meet your people parallel to you in the business.
Yeah.
That's all.
How's the comedy biz going? You've been all over the damn place lately, haven't you?
I've been working on a lot of new stuff. That's more what it is. So doing the clubs, traveling with a few friends, and then writing as we go, and then trying this stuff out on the stage at night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been like, people are like, where was the new stuff? I'm like, it was in there. They're like, well, it worked. I'm like, yeah, better than I thought it was going to. I was like, way better than I'd expected to. But I have ways of getting out of everything, whether it's Gruden popping. And I'll tell you what, man, I thought that joke would have been better. Or Morgan Freeman. And that's when they realized not all the punchlines hit the same way.
That's right.
Or explain it as John Madden. You know, I have all these outs that look like I did a joke a certain way, and when it bombs, I can just like people are like, you have a crutch. No, I have a full wheelchair. I got I'm being carted in and out of the hospital. It's a stretcher, man. I couldn't think of the word stretcher. That's how early it is for me right now.
Right, very early.
So,
right, yeah.
It's not even that early. I don't know what it is. It's just the last as I've been.
Well, you're
getting
closer
on the
to
road.
50 now, and
So I'm
7
over
a.m.
50.
Oh,
I'm
you are?
51.
Okay, so 7 o'clock in the morning. That's about noon. Now.
Yeah. That's 3 tinkle breaks.
Yeah.
That's 3 tinkle breaks, and so it's one of those things where just with a little foggy this morning, but getting here, we missed a turn coming in, and then we drove all the way around the neighborhood. We were going to stop at Target, wasn't open yet, but it was one of those things where we were just driving around. Like Patrick, who's with me, who's one of the guys on the show and writing. He's like, oh gosh, I was like, we got plenty of time, we're good. But anytime I get lost, that throws me off a little bit too. But I'm gradually getting into it.
Is that something I'm looking forward to at 51? Is I got to stop at Target at 7 o'clock in the morning?
Well,
and then be devastated that it's closed.
It's over. Well, if you're married, yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's a to-do list kind of thing that you think you're going to get a lot done early.
Because I'm devastated when I get to McDonald's at 10:33.
Really?
Yeah, because they stopped serving breakfast at 10:30.
Oh, you get angry and you get in a fight. Is that what happens?
Don't they still give the kid a Happy Meal?
They don't have like a grace period until it's 10:30. Probably. It probably stops at 10:30.
Oh, yeah, they shut it
no
down.
Hash browns.
They shut that thing down. They switch over the equipment. You're screwed.
And it's funny. They let you keep going too, as if they know that you don't know. You're like, yeah, I'll do the breakfast burrito meal, hot picante. Orange juice is fine. So we're serving lunch. You could have cut me off at
right. They let you follow.
Burrito.
Right. Well, I've been doing a new bit, and it's not political, but it's got a political person in it. That's so don't get mad at me. But it was it's perfect for that. It's Ronald McDonald Trump, and we're gonna make it great again. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut off breakfast much later. We're gonna let breakfast go. Breakfast is gonna go to noon because there's a lot of people who can't have, and then we're because there's some bad guys out there. There's the Hamburglar, Rabble. He's stealing burgers. And we've got good people too. We've got great people on our side. We've got Mayor McCheese. He's got a cheeseburger head. We've got Officer Big Mac and Elon McMuffin. And Elon McMuffin's going to be available till noon. It's going to be great. And we're going to make the playland great again. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, so it fits right in. That's it. We also got all the ice cream machines going to be fixed.
Are they?
They're going to be fixed. You're going to be able to get ice cream anytime, even before noon.
There's a website where you can go and see if your ice cream machine is
it
working
really?
at McDonald's. Yes, you could. Yes, if you just Google the McDonald's ice cream machine website, and it tells you whether or not it's working.
When people tell you that we don't live in an amazing country, come on.
Yeah, I mean, where else could you get that kind of information?
Incredible.
It really is good stuff. Mayor McCheese, you don't hear from him much. and when was the last time you saw Mayor McCheese do anything?
When was the last time you saw a prepared statement from Mayor McCheese talking about something that had gone wrong in McDonald's Playland? We don't see it anymore.
You just don't. So it goes back to my favorite Jim Rome thing of all time is when Dave Thomas died, the founder of Wendy's, and he said, "Today I declared a national holiday in my town, signed Mayor McCheese." And so every time I hear Mayor McCheese, I think of Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, dying and him declaring it a national holiday.
Incredible. How great is that? Finding out what happened with Dave Thomas. Dude wore the same shirt and tie every day. Made square burgers. Who's making a square burger? The greatest burgers. You get more burger because when you cut off these corners, you're losing a lot. That's why we don't cut corners. That's what they should have been saying there at Wendy's. At Wendy's, we don't cut corners like everybody else. Incredible. Wendy.
You use lettuce or
cutting off
else?
my paws.
Look like Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, my God.
Have a take and don't suck. No, he was going to say something. I cut him off for the bit.
Yeah.
Coming up later on the program, I forgot who we're going to have. We have Liam Neeson.
I don't know who you are. I don't know why I'm calling in.
Let's go to the fax line. Going to faxes. This bit is actually going back 20 years. Ruffle some paper. Ruffle some paper because they don't have any props. Dear Jim, the bit you're doing about the fax machine is incredible. Probably the best bit I've heard in a long time. Signed, Doc Brown. Ridiculous. Back to the Future reference. Marty McFly was friends with an old scientist. What is that dude doing hanging around in high school with a weird old guy who invents things and falls off his toilet? Why was he hanging a clock above his toilet? What is he doing? What is he doing in the bathroom? Hanging a clock. He slips, hits his head, and comes up with this, the flux capacitor, which makes time travel possible. Why didn't the Avengers use that? Would it have been a great idea for Tony Stark to be fixing something in his house himself? Probably why he took him so long to come up with the idea for time travel in the Avengers. Because dude doesn't fix anything around the house himself. If you start fixing your own things, Tony, you have a chance to come up with saving the multiverse much earlier than planned. Thor, Captain America, Black Panther, Hulk. It's just the amount of silence.
I don't want to cut you off. I don't know if you're doing the wrong pause.
I don't know. I didn't know either.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's so good.
And
felt like I was an
I want to know if Loki is a good guy or bad guy. Can never figure that out. Doctor Strange. Great name. He is strange. But he has over 14 million possibilities, and there's only one that saves everybody. And in that, Tony has to die. I'm not sure if I believe Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange might just have a problem with Tony Stark. Might be like a Draymond Green type of situation, where he's not getting along and there's punches thrown in practice. Tony Stark will never play for the Golden State Warriors. It just won't happen. Thanos. Dude is huge. Has a blade type of weapon that is apparently as strong as Stormbreaker. How could that be? I can't believe you guys are letting this go on your air.
I can't stop it. I'm dying.
We'll get into some more Strange on the other side on 96.5 The Fan. We're here with Frank Caliendo on Fescoe and Dusty, your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, guys, you know that ED is a terrible condition. It causes a lot of stresses in relationships, and it creates anxiety and undue hardships on a man, and often on their partner as well. Yet many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. And as you know, intimacy destroyers are ED-related activities, and research shows that men can draw apart from their partners when ED affects their life. But the good news is Heartland Men's Health has treatments that work when the pills or herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. And some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating guys right here in Kansas City, and they're ready for you. So schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Plus, they have an expert staff on hand, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and their new office in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Whether you're digging a pond, clearing brush, grading property, or doing demo, Foley Equipment, your local Caterpillar dealer, is your one-stop shop. Buy or rent, Foley Equipment has the machines you need to get the job done. And right now, Foley has 0% financing on new cat skid steers, mini excavators, and compact track loaders. Stop by any Foley Equipment location today or visit us at FoleyEQ.com. That's FoleyEQ.com.
How would you like a cash offer for your home in 24 to 48 hours? Sell your property fast and hassle-free with my friend Dawn Sharp and her team of experienced agents. No repairs, no staging, no open houses, just a fair cash offer. And that's the beauty of working with my friend Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team. They can give you so many different options from which to choose. If you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold, you can do that. Just contact them to discuss their instant offer program. In fact, contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp with the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. You can Google them, Sharp Homes team, and find out so much about these folks. You can find out why her and her team are so successful. It's because they spend thousands of marketing dollars every month to attract more buyers, which increases demand and sells your home faster for top dollar. And with their 200 5-star Google reviews, you can see why they're selling 150 homes in the last 12 months, while the average agent is selling just 4 homes. So like I said, Google them at Sharp Homes team, or just visit them at homesforsaleInKC.com. That's homesforsaleInKC.com, and start packing.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
The Ego Power Plus Savings Event is on at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery with purchase of a Select trimmer, blower, or mower kit. That's a $299 value. Plus, shop today for new and exclusive items you need for your lawn. So get ready for spring with the latest in innovation from Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Only at Lowe's. We help, you save. Offer valid through 4/16. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
What's up, baseball fans? Go yard with BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Enjoy top odds on your favorite home run bets, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offers for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Major League Baseball trademarks. Used with permission.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Missouri side, inbound I-70 off of Ganonigan slow from Lee's Summit Road out past Noland. In Lee's Summit, US 50 westbound slow from 3rd Street up to 470. Kansas side, 635 southbound slow rolling from Shawnee Drive down to I-35. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Diving right back into it here on 96.5 The Fan, Kansas City. Hope you're having a great Tuesday morning. In studio with us, Frank Caliendo.
And this time he turned on his microphone, which makes it better.
Jim Caliendo. So what brings you? What's Kansas City got a show tomorrow night, right?
Yeah. What is it? Tuesday? Yeah, Wednesday night at the Funny Bone in Rosa Grande. What is it?
Zona Rosa.
Zona Rosa.
I like Rosa Grande
Rosa
myself.
Grande. Zona Rosa. Dude lives in Arizona. Should have known the Zona and Rosa. I got to get out of the room. I can't stop doing it. Maybe turn into start doing Mel Kiper Jr., talking about incredible draft stock going here, trying to figure it out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be at the Funny Bone, just like that one show. I'm in Omaha the next night, and that was originally, but that one's sold out. So just all there's left for the Funny Bone in Zona Rosa. I had to think of it again.
Grande Rosa works.
Grande Rosa.
That's actually a little spot that serves Mexican food right next to Zona
right?
Rosa.
Yeah.
Everything
Frank
comes
on
with white cheese and chips and salsa.
There you go. FrankOnStage.com brings you to everything. I'm not sure of what their actual Funny Bone website is. So just FrankOnStage.com takes you to their website.
Yeah. So the draft is coming up. You've got the Kiper thing down pretty good. He seems like one of those guys that would be pissed about you doing.
No, he loves it.
Oh, he does.
No, he's great.
Wow, really?
Yeah. When I first met him, it was after I did it on ESPN. He called me, and I was like, what's this number from Baltimore?
Yeah.
And he's like, Frank, Mel Kiper Jr., tremendous job. The entire Kiper family sitting around watching what you're doing. Loved every little bit of it. Got the nuances. Got the Todd. Guy drives me crazy with some of his takes. But let me say this. I know you've been to Vegas before. You've been to Vegas? I've never been to Las Vegas. I'm like, you never been to Vegas? No, I've never been to Vegas. And I know you did like a residency there or something like that. What's a show you want to go see? You ever see Blue Man Group? Are they actual blue people from a different planet, that kind of thing? I heard about the ductwork spinning around, making the noises, the toilet paper rolls in the audience, spraying stuff. The guy eats a bunch of marshmallows, makes a sculpture out of it. Hey, would you go there to see Cirque du Soleil? Tremendous ability, bendy people, looking at training, I believe in Canada, but a lot of them from Russia. Low risk, high reward. Check that. High risk, low reward. At the end of the day, I want to be a bendy person hanging from the ceiling, suspended in midair, rotating the opposite way of a circular device. But yeah, so he liked it, and he's like, he always wanted me to do McShay, the impression of McShay. I'm like, he's too normal, man.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a little breathy and just says things directly. You cut him off all the time and go crazy. I mean, it's unbelievable to think that the whole industry was created by Mel Kiper Jr. in his basement with some 3-ring binders, and they thought he was nuts for wanting to talk about the draft. At the time, that was thought of as insane. And now, what is it? The third, fourth most watched sporting event.
We had this discussion last week. Dusty gets mad about that. He's like, that's not a sporting event, and it shouldn't be.
It absolutely is. Okay. And you think a hot dog is a sandwich? What's going on?
I could be persuaded.
Why do you not think it's? Why do you not think it's a sport? Because it's not. Well, it is competition. It's all. It doesn't pay off immediately, but everything is determined over time of what your team is going to be.
So I never said it's not a sporting event.
Oh, so he lied.
I said
Okay,
it's not one. I don't think it's one of the most compelling or one of the top sporting events that we have. Like they were saying, it was more than we had a guy say Super Bowl, NFL draft, Masters. I think the Masters is a more hierarchy sporting event than the NFL draft, because in all reality, we're watching the NFL draft on Friday night or Thursday night. Friday, if you're a geek, you're like, all right, I got to see the second round pick. I just want to know.
Well, I'm only counting the first round. The first round,
but it's an event. It's because if we're only counting the first round, Saturday moving day at the Masters and Sunday Masters. I know a lot of people get locked in for that.
What are the ratings on the Masters?
They were great this year. It's the highest since 2017.
But
18.
Is it close to?
No, it won't be for the first night.
Well, I don't know. It was 17 million, Dusty. That's a big number for golf. I don't know if we're going to get 17 million for the first night of the NFL draft.
I hope we do.
Yeah, we do. We are, Mac. Can you look and see what we've gotten before? Because an NFL game, a rando game with Nance and Romo. Look out, Jim!
Oh, Jim. Jim. Here we go, Jim.
That gets like 25 million people, right? That's a good number.
That's a Sunday afternoon game.
Yeah. So is it Thursday night NFL draft where essentially we're reading names? Is that going to get more than an actual game? Well, I don't know.
I think the beginning of the draft is always what people care about the most. The first maybe 5 picks.
The Tennessee Titans are now on the clock.
Yeah.
There's 15 minutes that you'll never get back.
Right. Well, I mean, it's interesting. I think it's interesting. You see the trajectory of, the amount of emotion that happens in that time, not just for the player, the team, the fans, but opposing teams. I think there's a lot to it. Okay, I understand what you're saying. It's a different type of event than what your typical sporting event is.
Right.
But it's important to the future of every franchise. You can look back to drafts and say this crushed us for years, and the trades that are made. There's trades that happen there too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Not any trades happen in the middle of games.
Right.
Not usually.
Sometimes a baseball player switches dugouts.
So you could take it this way with the ratings. So the Masters was up 33% from last year. As Bob had mentioned, they had their largest viewing audience since 2018.
What was it, 17 million?
It was averaging 12.7, but its peak on Sunday from 6 to 6:15 or Eastern time 7 to 7:15 was 19.5 million.
It's huge.
So everybody was. So if you want to take the draft and find its peak on Thursday night, I would assume it's probably going to be higher than 19.5.
Mac just looked at the numbers. 12.5 million watched the first round last year.
Average.
So
it's
it's
same average.
similar.
Average. Yep.
But there's
But the Masters has more, right? Or no?
this year for now.
It's average.
But this is average was 12.7 last year. The NFL draft similar 12. We'll see what it is this year. But its peak was 19.5. So there's 2 different ways you can look at it. What was the ultimate number at the ultimate time? Which for the Masters was 19.5. Which we've said here the top 3 picks are where everybody's kind of locked in. Then you kind of get stale and you wait for your team, or you kind of judge when they're going to pick. And I would assume that there's probably going to be a very high number for the first hour of the draft, from 6 to 7 or whatever it is. And
then it dissipates because, with the Masters, it gets exciting at the end, right?
Unless you're in Columbus, Ohio, and they were watching my show, because I was going to show that.
Right in the middle of
ratings down. Yeah. Ratings not doing well there. No, ratings down in Columbus. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah. There's an element of suspense that starts in the draft, and then it builds in the Masters if it's close. Because that was, I saw stuff after the fact, but great shots and bad misses, that adds for a lot more. I don't know. Everything seems so magnified nowadays compared to what it was even 10 years ago, because it's not even just what ratings are. It's what are people talking about even while they're not watching and just tweeting about, etc., sending stuff to, or just making other people, just trolling people at that time. So there's so many different ways you can watch something. Yeah, I don't know. I do look forward to the draft. I don't look forward to the draft the same way that a lot of my friends do. My friends that are massive. I love football.
Mm-hmm.
I love the game. Sundays, build the day around Sundays during football
Who's
season.
your team? Are you a Packer fan?
I grew up a Packer fan, but my family in Chicago, the Italians, which we're only allowed to talk about a third of them for many reasons. That was always the Bears fans. But I live in Arizona, and I know the owner and stuff like that. So it gets I get that empty feeling when the Packers get knocked out of the playoffs. It's still some of that. So, but getting to meet so many players over the years.
You root for people.
Yeah, I root for people. I root for people not to get hurt a lot too. There's a lot of that. So, and I've been on the Chiefs bandwagon. I might be off it a little bit now because it just feels like they're so back every year, but watching Mahomes come up and Andy Reid going from being the guy who couldn't win to the guy who can't be beat. Yeah. I think that's.
I love that.
I just came up with that now.
Yeah, that's good.
But they struggled at the end of this year, but it was a weird game. I thought all these theories were going on in my head this year with the Chiefs were maybe they're just holding back all their plays because that Andy Reid's kind of done that type of stuff, right? He springs stuff on you that you haven't seen all year, and they were just winning all these close games and just scraping by, right? Scraping by with a great record for them. You expect them to just punch everybody in the face. Mm-hmm. But Philadelphia was so good. I didn't see that. I thought it was going to be a little bit better. But when there's a guy named Caliendo on there, you got to root for him.
You got to root
too,
for him.
right?
Yeah. How much flack do you get? Not flack, but like conversation you get every time they announce that guy's name. I know Nance and Romo do their thing, but just from people that you get asked all the time, I bet, if he's related.
Yeah, whenever that pops up, that's and I think I've told you guys on the air before, I'm not related to him, but he grew up 10, 15 miles from my house.
Which is
and there's not a
wild.
lot of Caliendos in Waukesha or Brookfield, Wisconsin area.
There's not?
But, well, there might be more now. I guess we've been populating. But his cousins, his uncle played football, I believe, for Nebraska. And he had another brother that played Division I, or another uncle that played Division I football as well. They played for the Brookfield schools, which is in the same Braveland conference at the time as Waukesha South, where I grew up. And people, Chris and Carrie Caliendo, were the ultimate athletes in Brookfield, Wisconsin. I was in Waukesha, and they're like, "Are you related to the Brookfield Caliendos?" And like, we're the Waukesha Caliendos, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, over here. So, and then when I messaged him eventually, he said, it's so funny because it's flipped for me. People always ask him if he's related to me. So if I was related to their family before, because they were more known than me, even though all conference second team, I believe. I was all conference first team catcher.
Oh, nice.
Junior year. Yeah, senior year, I struggled to they pitched around me a lot, I
really figured me out.
Yeah, they figured out. They said curveball. That was one they threw at me, or very fast ball. Those two things I struggled with. I was a zero-tool player. That's what I was. But my dad had played in the minor league White Sox organization when he was younger. So
Zero-tool player, you can play for the White Sox right now.
There you go, right?
Yeah,
Could it be?
he'd fit right in.
And my dad could
I
play
know a
now.
guy, yeah.
He's still playing softball. Give me his stats every time I see him. Went 2 for 2. And by the way, your uncle passed away. Like, as soon as you tell me that he passed away first, my stats are pretty good, Frank. Batting 1,000. Not a lot of guys bat 1,000. No, it's softball. A lot of guys do bat 1,000.
How old's your dad?
He is 80, born in 42.
So he's 83, right?
83, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you ever Google Frank Caliendo, Sun Sox, minor leagues, I believe his batting average of 190 something shows up in rookie ball or A ball.
So do you have that conversation with your parents? Like I know with mine, like it's very much a texting world that we live in now. And if the phone rings and it's somebody, the first thing we always say is nobody's dead.
Right.
Just calling to check in. You brought your dead uncle up and the 2 for 2 stat. Like, is that one of those
That's
things?
not even a joke. That's real.
Oh,
No, he literally does that kind of stuff. Like he gives his softball stats before any other information. Like my mom has been falling and stuff because she's not in really good health. Mm-hmm. He'll do that. Just got back from Florida where I was all tournament, 3 for 3, turned 2 double plays, and had to be pinch run for, but we won every game. Also, your mom fell and hit her head again.
I mean, like that's the end of the conversation.
That's the end. Then you text him, then I don't hear from him for like a few weeks until he's got another stat.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's the way it is. Like that's what's important to him. And then he can't wait to tell me about it. He comes to shows wearing a shirt with my face on it and gives us signs pictures of me and him for people.
Oh God!
While giving us softballs, he did commercials in Milwaukee. He did somehow. He talked his way into doing commercials for some type of maybe it was funeral homes because that's who sponsors all the softball teams.
Right.
All the softball teams brought to you by Herman Brothers. You never know if you're going to make it to second base. Right. Herman Brothers. But he was doing these ads, and people were like, your dad, he does these great ads. I'm like, are they really great? Well, he talks.
Yeah, he's in them.
He thinks they're great. So, I don't know. But yeah, that's all that kind of stuff.
So
that's crazy.
We were talking about the Masters, and I know you enjoy sport. Like, were you locked in on? I know you had a show.
But no, you know what? I don't know. I do get into golf sometimes. I'd been traveling so much that I wasn't even really paying attention this year. And I wish I had been because everybody's talking about it right now. But it's one of those things where I've just been traveling so much and we're driving each day. I knew it was going on, but didn't really lock in on it at all.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where we're in a different city pretty much every day. So it's driving 2 or 3 hours, then doing some promo or something like that, and then doing the show. So, yeah, I've been out of it for I gotta do some draft stuff in Green Bay. I gotta lock in and figure out what.
Are you going to be there? For
I'm
the
going to
draft?
be there. Yeah, some people
That's
are doing
next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. And I got to go visit my mom, who apparently after my dad hit 1,000, she hit her head.
Yeah,
right?
well.
Yeah, I gotta lock in and pay attention to that because there's some people that want to. There's a live thing and then something broadcast too. So we'll see. I gotta lock in a little bit because I want to be topical for that, and it's national, so I gotta really pay attention and prepare more than I usually do.
Yeah. Who are you going to be with on draft night?
I'll be by myself, but the day before I'm doing it's an event. It's actually for Doug Gottlieb, and it's Dan Patrick.
Okay.
So it's Dan Patrick doing it, and it's for Gottlieb's UW Green Bay NIL, I think, and stuff like that.
They got to find some wins before they find
got
some
well.
money.
That's you got to, and college basketball. You got to buy some wins too, so that helps. The money helps buy them. So there's a bunch of stuff going on with that, and so they asked me to do it, and I was like, yeah, it sounds great. And I was working Appleton, which is basically a suburb. It's not really a suburb of Green Bay. It's just another community, 30 miles away, 40 miles away. So I was doing that. I was going to be in that area, and with my mom not doing well, I was like, it ends up being the perfect week. And then I go out. I'm also in where we end up in do Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Des Moines, Iowa. So all those things, that's like my little Midwest run right there, as opposed to last week was a little more East version of the Midwest run. So
you'd mentioned it's kind of interesting that you do this because a lot of people had this theory last year with the Chiefs, how they were bored, and it looked like they were bored just trying to go through the motions.
Yeah.
Do you ever have like a crowd that you don't need to get into your deep cuts to make them like laugh and roar, where you can just kind of play the B side of the album?
I kind of did that for 10 years. So I've gotten out of that. I've gotten myself out of that. But yeah, I've done that a lot of times because I wasn't having as much fun. I was doing a lot of the same stuff all the time. So I figured that out for myself, like I said, 10 years ago, and then I took a break and got away and wasn't doing many shows, and now I'm really enjoying it and creating a lot of different stuff. So it doesn't even matter if they're not giving me stuff. I'm going to throw out the new stuff anyways, and then it gets tested to see what it really is. It's like facing a pitcher who's got his stuff, like they're throwing stuff at me, and I'm like, geez, it's moving. That looked the same. Those two pitches look the same, and they cut two different ways. So That's really I don't really mind. I'd rather them be really easy, and some of these weeknights or Sundays can be a little tougher, but they've been really good. My audience knows me, and they come out they generally work for a living, so we have the shows earlier, 7 o'clock at night. Show's done by 8:30. It's a clean show, so everybody can come to the show. So that's been my past, but not right now. Just being completely honest, it doesn't even matter. I'll find it. And we have 4 people on the show. Patrick, who's opening, who's here with me today, he's a headliner in his own right, and he's there working with me on writing. And then a couple of guys, another one who's an actual headliner, Al Jackson, and another guy who's a really good feature kind of. But those guys do like 15, 20 each. So it's a really packed show, even though I thought it was going to be tanking it a little more on some of the newer stuff, but it's been working because I can talk my way out of it with the different voices. So, yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's been really, really good.
Frank Caliendo with us. And what do you look at as like this joke that you love and then it doesn't hit? You're like, damn, I thought that would be really good.
I don't know. I mean, there's trying to think what's some of the stuff I do because people know me so much for the sports. When I cut out and am not doing anything that's 100% sports, there are some people that can feel they don't get like the Avengers references. If I'm throwing out a Chris Hemsworth, yes, of course, yes, or a Robert Downey Jr. kind of situation where you burp out the punchlines. So it's those will not do as well as I would like them to do with that audience because sometimes, pop culture nowadays does cross over a lot more with sports. You have to. It's I think just the way it works, it's more entertaining and keeps the audience going even when I think even sports radio especially got that way a little bit more with COVID because there were no scores to report and you couldn't go as in depth, so it became more everyday stuff people were talking about from a sports person's
a sports fan's perspective.
To put that into perspective for you, doing those shows during COVID, you do whatever the hell you wanted, and it was. I'm not going to lie, it was good at times. Like you could just do it whenever you wanted, try stuff out.
No, absolutely.
Talk about marble racing. I think some llamas raced one time. We talked about that. Like,
I mean,
it
it's
freed
crazy.
you up to do kind of whatever you want. It was like a test ground.
So
for 6 months.
you're hoping for another.
I'm not. No.
Plague or something. You're hoping to really work on your new stuff. Is that what I'm getting from you, Fesco?
I was really good with the being home type of thing. Like with the introverted personality, I didn't mind staying at home and not having a lot to do.
I actually got. I was bothered when things started opening up again. I'm like, now I can't lie about not being able to go there anymore. I mean, that was one of my big things. Was I'm the type of person who's honest about stuff. They say, "You going to come out with us tonight?" No, I'm not doing it.
Not a chance.
And they look at me and like, at least you're honest. I go, yeah. And then they try to make fun of me. I'm like, I don't care. I'm fine with it. If I don't want to be, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I might be there.
Right.
So
the might be there is the Midwest way of saying no.
Right. Correct. Yeah, absolutely. And I figure why not just say no? And it's just too much effort. And we'd be better friends if I don't go. That's why, because I'll be annoyed and annoying to you because you're not going to expect me to be that person. Because I can only be. I don't do the on stage type of persona all the time.
No, you can't. No.
Some people do. Some people becomes like, I think it's like a salesman. Like salespeople, you have to get into that mode so much. It's like being an athlete in a lot of ways. Where you ever go to dinner with a car salesperson and they're like, you're like, can you pass the butter? And they start working a deal about how to do it. You're like, okay, I didn't know. Can I talk to my boss? No, you don't. Just pass the butter. We don't need to do something with the salt.
Right.
You're gonna throw salt in? That's what you're gonna do? All right.
Well, I don't have any butter. We have margin. I'm good, actually. You know what? Actually, we just had some inventory come in. Let me go back and check it real quick. There's always something around back. Like, there's always another.
There's always something we weren't going to show you.
What are you looking to spend here? About anywhere from like $4,000 to $6,000. Unfortunately, we don't have any of that. All right, thank you very much. You get like 5 pastes to your car. You know what? Actually, come in.
Give me a second. Give me a second. I just remembered. I just remembered that we can actually connect with other dealerships.
Yeah,
we can do that.
Right.
I mean, I can show you pictures. We could have it here in 2 days. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be around. We can have it here in a day. We can pull it around. It's here. We can pull it around.
Scumbags. Frank Caliendo, he's got a show in Kansas City at the Funny Bone tomorrow night. We'll continue the 7 o'clock hour on this side of 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control have done an amazing job. 2 weeks ago, they came out to the house, they looked around, and once they stopped laughing and went, my God, your lawn stinks, they said, we can get this thing fixed. And it does stink. We've been trying to get this thing right for 10 to 12 years now, and I just decided I'm done. I'm calling the college-educated professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, and they came out, and man, it's been awesome to see what 2 weeks has done. They cut it, they put down the fertilizer, the pre-emergent. There's no dandelions anywhere in my yard right now. They came back and cut it again, and every time I look at it, I think I went to the wrong house because my lawn actually looks awesome. And the pest control aspect of things is going to be fun as well because they're going to put this mosquito dome over my house, and I'm not going to have mosquitoes or ticks or fleas running around that yard, and it's going to keep me safe, it's going to keep my dog safe, and I'm going to be able to spend time outside and enjoy it. So if you're looking to enjoy your outdoors and you want your lawn to look awesome, call my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control and say, come on out, take care of business. They offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control, and if you mention this ad, they'll give you up to half off your first application. So don't wait, call them today, or better yet, visit aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Hey guys, it's Cody Tapp, and I want to keep telling you about my progress over at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. I've lost 30 pounds, which was my goal, thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Look, maybe you got the pool, vacations, life got busy on you. It did for me. I wanted to make a change so I had more energy for my kids, so that the Superbone foot didn't hurt anymore. And I'm feeling so much better. The pressure off my knees, and I've had 3 surgeries, so I needed that. And everything else in between has made me feel so much better over at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. 6 weeks, 30 pounds. That's what I did, and you can do as well. I did it with no medications, no extra working out, no calorie counting, just the help with the people over at the Awaken 180 at-home program. At home, meaning you don't have to leave your house in order to talk to Awaken 180. Make sure your summer is everything you want it to be and give them a call. 844-346-1800 or find out even more online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, baseball fans, there's no better place to bet the long ball than BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Swing confidently on your home run bet with BetMGM's no-sweat home run token. No opt-in is required. Just log in to your BetMGM account to receive your token. Then activate your token when you place a bet on any player to hit a home run. If you lose your bet, you will receive your stake back in bonus bets. BetMGM is the best place to bet the long ball. Don't miss out on our lineup of exciting promotions for the MLB season. The action is on deck at BetMGM, the king of the big swing. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Living with chronic joint pain is like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa. Nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you enjoy this spring, like golfing, hiking, and tennis. You're just trying to get by. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Kansas City are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. They've already treated tens of thousands of patients around the country with regenerative treatments that help calm that debilitating joint pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and your back. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. Curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments? No problem. The consultation is totally free, and they're happy to take a look to see if they can help you finally get the relief that you deserve. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Call QC Kinetics now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299.
What's up, baseball fans? Go yard with BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Enjoy top odds on your favorite home run bets, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. From the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Download the BetMGM app and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. First bet offers for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Major League Baseball trademarks. Used with permission.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey Bank and Cross First Bank. Together, we'll help ensure your dreams and possibilities become moments. Through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Together, we're building extraordinary impact in business, wealth, and community. Busey Bank and Cross First Bank. Member FDIC.
This hour on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week and then receive free support for life. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. Here's Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland, 435 southbound, heavy coming off I-35 down towards 48th Street with construction. On the Kansas side, 69 highway northbound is very slow around 179th Street, and then pretty heavy again approaching 135th Street. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Diving right back into it here on 96.5 The Fan. Getting a great opportunity to have one Frank Caliendo in studio on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. Mac Morey with us as well. We were kind of talking off the air. We see athletes sometimes in big moments, even like, Mahomes, 2 interceptions, one's a pick six in the Super Bowl, and everybody wants to say, oh, man, maybe he's not, whatever.
Right. Like they said for Tom Brady for 10 years.
Yeah,
It's over.
Yeah, who got, blown out by Joe Flacco in a playoff game. But either way, have you ever had like a situation where like maybe it fell flat and you had to avert to an audible or you had to do something different in your, rapport of jokes?
Well, first of all, half my act is audibles.
Okay.
Half my act is throwing things out there that are 50-50 whether they're going to work and how do I get out of it. That's a part of the fun. But yeah, when it first started out, I was doing, shows at lunches in little directional schools all over the country. And things just don't work. And you just get, that's part of just getting better. That's what people don't have anymore. I mean, it's interesting. The way comedy works is you come up through the ranks and you get beat down constantly in terms of the audiences in front of you, right? You got good, bad, whatever. They're different types of audiences, but you build up a thick skin in how to do your act. It's the opposite in sports. What has happened? We used to, when we were growing up, we practiced. Like we'd have baseball practice, we'd have soccer practice, basketball. Now they train.
Mm-hmm.
You train small movements, muscles to react to those bigger movements, and then, and eventually have an action or whatever. But just the fact that we went from practicing to training nowadays is amazing to me. I remember when my son played a little bit of soccer. Like what they used to just have us run. Well, the soccer coaches around me, especially the higher level, like, why would you ever just run? Have a ball with you. Have a ball with you the entire time. And it's even the coaching, with basketball. That's why the Europeans do so well. They teach everybody, no matter what size you are, how to have all the fundamentals of all the positions. And that's starting to come over here more now. So you're starting to see the 7-footers with all those different, play at all 3 levels. So, yeah, I don't know. So to go back to your question, have things bombed? Yeah, I mean, it happens. For me, the audience is usually coming to see me now. I mean, it's tougher in a corporate event, and there are times when I don't love it when they're like, you're a surprise. And they tell me I'm a surprise for the company.
Well, that's a big surprise. You're thinking, right? Like,
yeah, it's to me. And last year they had Jay Leno or somebody. I'm like that's that's a bigger surprise than me by far. So I don't know. I feel like I'd rather them know who I am. So yeah, I go in with the deck, stacked in my favor a little bit. Unless I'm not even sure if that's mixing a metaphor, but I have it on my side a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's good that way, and I would like to play a little broader, which I do sometimes, but as long as I have my core audience there, it tends to work overall because they're there to see certain things. It's amazing. If I forgot to do Charles Barkley for most of the last show, or 2 shows ago, and I hadn't gotten to Gruden until the end, and people start yelling it out. So I let people yell stuff out for the last 10 minutes on stuff I don't get to because I forget it sometimes.
Yeah, though that's interesting because I was going to ask you, like, do you do a grand finale of every voice just to work everybody in at the end?
I did it in Vegas with a song, A Little Help from My Friends, because it seemed very Vegas-y. Yeah. But what I do is I will
have people yell stuff out and do a bunch of them differently. And sometimes I'll go from voice to voice. They'll have yelled a bunch of things. And I start doing a John Gruden, doing Jerry Seinfeld. What are we doing? Adam Sandler shows up, and Tracy Morgan tells you it's going crazy. And then Morgan Freeman says, we got to do it differently, Sonny. That's what we're going to do right here. And then Adam Schefter says, according to my sources, at this particular time, it appears this is not what we're going to do. Mel Kiper Times and saying his name at the beginning, talking about tremendous situation. At the end of the day, you'd be hard-pressed to tell me otherwise.
That's awesome. They do the little help from my friends.
I know. Well, people would. My band. I had a band there, and they would like play throughout the show in little pieces. But they would do. They'd yell something out. I don't remember what it was, but if you gave me a name, give me a name.
John Madden.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Gruden, lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Jeff Goldblum, I get by with a little help from my friends. Ooh, John C. Reilly, I can try a little help from my friends. Adam Schefter, all I need is somebody. I just want someone to love. Mel Kiper. Or could it be anybody? I just want someone to love. Todd!
I have a theory that he's a vampire.
Mel Kiper Jr.?
Yeah.
See,
You've never seen him in daylight.
So that might be true. I think I may only have seen him at night.
He's always in a basement with like a light on. Hates garlic. I mean, you've never seen him sleep because he's asleep when you're awake. Not
kind of like Santa Claus too,
but like sucks your blood, doesn't give you gifts,
right?
And even when he does a draft, he's inside. He's like never been outside in the light. He's a vampire. I call him Dracula.
When I tell people who don't know him what he looks like, I say, picture in your mind Sam the American Eagle from the Muppets and Count Chocula.
Oh God!
So Count Chocula is a vampire-esque.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but never seen him in daylight. I don't
Sam
know.
the Eagle is unbelievable.
Yeah, and when we did the sketch, we did a sketch at ESPN where I did a sketch with the Muppets. One of my favorite things of all time. And Mel Kiper Jr. and Sam the American Eagle, and we turn to each other and then just turn away like, this is not a guy I want to be around. Berman was with the Swedish Chef. It was like, bark. What was Miss Piggy was hanging out with Ron Jaworski, and that's why I truly believe you're the most beautiful starlet of all time. Kermit was who was Kermit? Kermit was hanging out with maybe Schefter or somebody.
Or Mahomes.
No, I didn't do.
I didn't have that one. Well, I mean, thanks a lot, and I think you guys are doing a great job.
Trying to think who Kermit. Kermit was one of the big ones I did. It was probably Schefter, but I took voices for the most part that were close to the voices, except for Piggy. I wanted Miss Piggy in there. I can't remember. I remember the ones that really hit though were Berman with the Swedish Chef because they had the same hands.
Right.
But it was interesting to do that stuff with the Muppets because I didn't realize they build it so all the Muppeteers can stand up straight, and so the it's like a counter. You're always at a countertop, but everybody's standing. Nobody's ducking down. Everybody's just standing fully upright. And then you are too, so they had to put me on blocks because I'm short.
Like Tim Kirkchin on the baseball broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I tower over Kirkchin, by the way. I tower over him.
It's Frank. Where do you want me to stand at? See where that block is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
give
you very
me the
much.
Robert Downey Jr. cement block, would you? That's 3 Apple boxes. What's that? 2 Smurfs? Good.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of comedians of all time?
I'd have to go with people like I'd go with history. I would go with Robin Williams just because Robin Williams and Jonathan Winters were 2 of the most influential on me. Are they the best? I don't know, but that's what I always loved was watching those guys switch characters and why I do what I do. Trying to think who else would be up there. I mean, people that I liked before I started doing comedy. I try not to watch any comedy now, really. I mean, if you were going to ask me, I'd say people like Dave Chappelle because just the topics he handles and how he does it, and he gets ripped for playing a side on something. I was like, no, guys like he and Bill Burr are going back and forth on like over the top. There's a line and they're going over it on all sides. Trying
trying to think who else. I mean, sketch comedians affected me too. Farley, Belushi, any fat guy, and Dana Carvey, huge. I mean, I didn't love the classic impressionists as much. I did when I was little, but it was one thing where it got kind of boring for me, like the vaudevillian impressionist. I was like, oh, you're going to talk like Inspector Clouseau for 6 minutes?
Right.
Let's get out of it and move into something else. But I think the sketch comedians, because they were doing lots of impressions, but I love the speed of comedians as well. And the Richard Pryors are important and people like that. But I'm sure I'm missing somebody. But I did like the Dave Attell's and stuff like that before I got into it. Anybody who had a weird take. I didn't like people telling straight ahead jokes. I liked people with different cadences and odd, just people that kind of went off on tangents, which is what I do. That's what I really liked.
So you like any of the new age guys?
I don't watch many because I don't want to see what anybody's doing. I don't know.
That's fair.
You know,
It's kind of like that with sports radio.
Yeah, I don't listen to it a lot.
Listen to sports, you don't want to be influenced by what somebody else might be talking about.
Yeah, do you remember, in the 90s, late 90s, I think it was, when Jim Rome was everywhere and every sports guy was talking like this? You don't want to have, like, I worked with Attell for a week, and by the end, I was talking like this. Yeah, sounds goody. Or you work with Brian Regan, and by the end, you're talking like Brian Regan. Gonna take a shower. Okay,
Right.
Sounds good, donut lady. So it's tough for me because if somebody had a cadence, I might pick up on the cadence. I don't want to have that cadence because it starts to get in my brain, and then you start. There were in Minnesota, in just north of here, I guess. Minnesota, the Dakotas, with Mitch Hedberg around, everybody was doing Mitch. There were like 50 guys who had the Mitch Hedberg cadence, and they weren't doing Mitch Hedberg type of jokes, but they had his cadence. And that just happens. And in D.C., lots of guys had the Dave Chappelle cadence early on. So that's why I stay away from, what anybody else is doing and try not to watch too much, especially with me because I'm a sponge in terms of a dialect or cadence or whatever you want to call it.
We're late to a break, but we're joined by Frank Caliendo, who will be at the Funny Bone on Wednesday, the 16th, tomorrow. He's here with us on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
What the hell's wrong with your station?
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Guys, let's talk about your prostate. If an enlarged prostate has you rushing to the nearest restroom, frustrated and uncomfortable because you need to go but can't, or it's keeping you up at night, it's time to fix it. Clarity Care offers prostate artery embolization. PAE is a simple office treatment that can shrink your prostate and relieve your symptoms so you can get back to enjoying life. No surgery, just relief. Call Clarity Care today or visit kcprostate.com.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and I'm letting you know that baseball's back, which means you can enjoy every single game with a Surfside cocktail, vodka and tea, or vodka and lemonade. They're absolutely delicious, and they pair perfectly with a day at the ballpark. Or if you need to drown your sorrows after watching the Royals and Yankees play last night, you can do that as well, but they are also available at Coffin Stadium all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part is it's zero bubbles, so you have zero troubles. That's right. So it's easy to sip and enjoy while you're at the game. Ask for your local bars and liquor stores. Must be 21 years of age, and please drink responsibly.
We're hiring residential garage door installers at Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. Join the team trusted here since 1927. Apply today, get a call today. No experience necessary. Paid training for motivated applicants to install garage doors. Hiring bonus up to $2,500. Mechanical, carpentry, or service industry experience is a plus. Good benefits include health, dental, vision, and pension. Earn as you learn to service the best garage door customers in KC. Apply today at overheaddoorkc.com.
The other place, Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton have lots of big screens, great food, and beer specials. Plus, patio season is coming up soon. The Other Place is your home for baseball this spring. The Other Place and theotherplace.com.
Hey there, Royals fans. It's Royals Hall of Famer Mike Sweeney. Have you or your kids experienced a high school coach who wants to make our Kansas City community a better place to live, work, and play? The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation, together with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City, are shining a spotlight on 6 impactful coaches in the KC metro area. Nominate a high school coach today at royals.com/coaches with character.
Man, are you over 40 and struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself? Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today by visiting one of our conveniently located clinics. Meet a medical provider and get back to feeling your best. This April only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you and is covered by most major insurance. Get treated at our centers or from home. Why wait? Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com.
Expect mostly clear skies tonight with a low of 43.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Midwest Auto Services. On the Kansas side, 635 southbound, very heavy. You hit delays around K32. Stays very slow down towards Gibbs with an accident blocking the right and possibly also right center lane. Is driving your vehicle like fighting a wild bull? Does it lead, pull, or feel out of sync when you accelerate or brake? Are you replacing tires a lot due to poor wear? Let Midwest Auto Services check your alignment. Call 816-224-4247 or MidwestAutoservices.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Hey, it's Cole Riggins, and this is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Royals baseball.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
We'll bring it back in. We'll bring it into our world, Frank. We appreciate the time today. Love having you in here.
I want to hear some actual sports talk.
Do you want to do some sports talk?
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that on the other side. So a topic that we had planned out today was quarterbacks in their chapters of their novel.
Yeah.
And I was kind of giving you like a little bit of a rundown of what it is without giving you the whole, basically a synopsis. Here we go. So Patrick Mahomes, like what chapter would you say he's in his career?
And we're going by number of chapters? Like you're saying?
Like I would say Brady had 4.
See, I think we're heading
long chapters. I would say there's got to be more chapters in the book.
Well, he is Lord of the Rings.
I mean, it's trying to think. You shall not pass. I'm trying to think. How many chapters would you say are possible? 4 to 5?
See, I'm completely different. I think we're entering chapter 2.
I do too. I think that's what I would say. I would say it's early in the book.
Yeah, I think
we're
too.
really early.
Because he cut his hair. Once you change your hair, that's a new chapter, right?
Yeah, that's a big factor.
Yeah.
One of the silliest things I've heard.
I know, it's crazy. But he changed his hair. So that means he's going to be 30. And so the 20s are over. The hair's different. He's now 30. He's got 3 kids. Like to me,
I was
that's
going to say
the
there's a
changing
lot
of the
more
chapter.
responsibility in his life and a lot more going on to get adjusted to. One, the level of fame, the commercials, the pressure, etc. 2, having kids, having people depend on you as a father, as a member of a family. That changes in your life of how you even look at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I'm just going to compare this to me. Not that I'm any Patrick Mahomes of anything.
Similar.
Just more in the Super Bowl this year.
Right.
I had a period of life where it was all about my kids. I didn't want to miss anything with my kids, and I changed everything about myself for that. I went on the road less. I took less. I was offered certain things, pilots, whatever. That I said, you want me to go where to shoot this movie? I'm not even going to audition. Like I don't know if I get it, but I don't want to. I can't go 6 months to another country. I'm going to miss my kids doing something. I can't do that. He's probably in some of that, but he's one of the most elite professional athletes of all time, and you can't stop it from happening. I mean, look at where Tom Brady. Look at what happened with his family and marriage and all that stuff when he decided he was going to play one more year after it looked like he was going to be retired. Things fell apart, right? So if you are if being well-rounded in your life is important, but I agree with you, Bob. I think it's early. I might say chapter 3.
Okay.
But I would say it's a 12-chapter book. It just feels. How many years have you been playing?
7.
It's
now?
only
Yeah,
7,
yeah.
and so he's
29.
29.
He'll be 30 in
20.
September.
That's old in Luka years. I mean, when you think about Luka's like 26,
yeah,
that's kind of crazy. But Yeah, I think it's early. I think it's still in. I mean, it's crazy to say because it might not be. You don't know how it's going to end, obviously, but it still feels like it's possibly in part of the set. Like the end of the setup phase is over.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like think about the career, and I feel like it's chapter 3. So I feel like chapter 1 was like the showing out, like the first wave, like all the offense, everything was electric.
But that's just chapter 1 of success. Chapter 1 is actually him being this Favrean reckless kind of guy in college to the pros, and just sitting on the bench and watching for a year, right? I mean, or most of a season, and everybody just talk about like it's foreshadowing. That's chapter 1, isn't it? Like this kid is going to go crazy.
You could say that was chapter 1. Then chapter 2's been everything that he's done, maybe up until this point.
I think chapter 2's just his first Super Bowl win.
Okay.
I think that's 2 chapters right there. I'm just thinking that I hadn't thought this out before. I don't do a lot of show prep.
Right.
But even if you had told me ahead of time. But that seems like 2. Now you're talking about success chapters, I think.
Kind of. I mean, it's more so like eras for me.
Right.
So I think chapter 1. I think chapter 1.
We live in Taylor Swift's town, so we
there you go.
In eras. Yeah.
But I also think chapter 1 ended with the blowout loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So then you have to revamp your entire sort of system because you go from throwing the ball over the top and just beating people with offense to now you have to develop a dink and dunk sort of like methodical way.
Okay, when did his first contract end? When did they have to not pay him as much? Or when did they have to start paying him?
In the last couple of years.
Because at the end of the first contract, that's the end of probably the first chapter, isn't it?
That's fair.
When you can put everybody around him, when you can afford more weapons and you can afford defense, or I mean, they've become defensive minded and sacrificed on the offensive side.
Right.
So that became more Patriots Brady-esque at that point. Let's hold teams to a certain amount of points, and we know you're good enough to get us a lot of wins.
And I think that's the second chapter.
So you think that's where it's so? But that would be based on his contract, essentially, right?
I would say, and I would say that chapter ended with a blowout loss against Philadelphia. Now you're in chapter 3 where he's cut his hair. Everyone's doubting them. They're officially hated nationwide. They claim themselves as
they've
the
been hated
world's
for
team.
a while.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm just kidding.
But like they're now like the world. They're like the world's team. That's what their president has like wanted them to become. And I think now it's like okay, they went to a.
It's
three-peat
almost
and lost.
LeBron in Miami, right? Is it close to that? Like he's the evil doer now.
Well, no, because LeBron went there because he couldn't win on his own, as they used to say, and so he went to Miami. And as we know now in the NBA, you need probably 2 or 3 guys
right,
around.
But I'm saying that like LeBron in Miami was just this guy who was everybody was looking down on them. That's what I mean. Is like with the Chiefs have been America's team for a little while here, and like everything, people look for a downfall. But I get what you're saying, so I understand these chapters.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think that like, and if maybe it's 5, maybe it's 4, but I mean, like chapter 3 could last until he's 35, and then the final chapter of his book are the final 5 years of his career. Where it's weird to think that the next 5 years for Patrick Mahomes, where will they be similar to the previous stories that we've seen? Will it go the 10-year drought that Brady had without going to without winning a Super Bowl, or is it going to be this like, well, now does the Travis Kelce era end, which could possibly be at the end of this year? And then is that the end of another one? But it's interesting.
Here, I'm not a big reader, as you can probably tell by my vocabulary, but I don't know of a lot of books with 4 chapters. That's the only thing with this analogy.
Right.
That's a 4-chapter book. But I get where you're going with it. So, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, you said chapter 2, you're saying chapter 3, so it's early in it.
It is early, yeah. I think it is. And I think this year's going to be really interesting. I had a friend of mine yesterday, he said to me, he goes, I think it's over. I'm like, over? What are you talking about? I didn't do anything in free agency. I go, you're a former NFL agent. You know anybody that signs in free agency is a turd, but you make money off the deal. He's like, well, yeah, that is true. So I said, the draft is a week away. Like, what do you mean they haven't done anything yet? Like, they're getting their top 2 wide receivers back. They're running backs coming back. They signed some guy to play left tackle that nobody ever heard of.
They were really good last year. They made the Super Bowl.
They made the Super Bowl. But this is where we are, Frank.
Yeah, I think the expectations are just crazy. And, as we were talking about off the air, nobody remembers, other than you guys will because you're here, who lost the Super Bowl. No,
right.
Like the super fans do, but people remember teams winning the Super Bowl most of the time. Who'd they play? I don't remember. It was last year. Oh, really?
Yeah, right. You don't remember that stuff anymore.
6 months ago. Like nobody remembers unless it's your team, and then because you have a much more emotional tie to it. But I don't think the Chiefs are anywhere near being done. That seems crazy.
I think it is as well. Now it's going to be different once Patrick and Travis kind of go their separate ways, and he retires at the end of this season most likely and moves on. They're going to have to do things differently. But Tom Brady did it for 20 years. People are acting like Patrick Mahomes can't continue to get better and reinvent himself, and that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off.
He's got Andy Reid.
Yeah.
I mean, the schemes I think there's plenty of time. Andy Reid, depends on how long Andy Reid stays around, too, because he really does seem to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, and they have a great organization. I mean, you look around all around the league and almost all professional sports, there's so much dysfunction everywhere. It's when you have something that's functioning, you're already 5 steps ahead of the game. Because most other teams got a crazy owner doing something, it's getting in trouble or whatever. I mean,
it's nice when everybody checks their ego too, because you don't see that on other teams. The egos eventually come out. We've never seen that here in Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, just think of how much it's hindered the Cowboys over the years. If you look at the Cowboys, that's a hairband looking. It's like what are they doing? You can't even tell. Do they want to win? It's just
I call them the Dallas Browns. They're essentially the same franchise. 30 years of ineptitude, but Dallas has got P.T. Jones down there marketing the hell out of that team.
Yeah, he's everywhere. I don't know of any other owner who speaks, who has 2 media calls a week. That's kind of amazing. But
the last time we won a Super Bowl, I could still get hard without taking a pill. Nowadays, my dinger just looks like a wet biscuit.
Is that AI or is that him?
Yeah.
Okay, because I could see him doing that. I could hear.
I've been thinking about it a lot in the shower.
Frank, what are you doing in Kansas City? Let the people know.
Funny Bone tomorrow night, is it? What's today? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday, tomorrow night. You can tell I'm starting to get tired. Wednesday night, frankonstage.com for the tickets. Not going to be a lot of sports talk there. I just want to have you guys do your normal show for a little bit while I was here so I didn't hog it all up and people get mad at me.
Oh, no one gets mad at you if they
No,
do.
they do. Look at the internet.
Okay.
They get mad at everybody.
I tell people to stay away from the internet.
I just don't chirp back like KD, man.
There you go. Yeah, no burner account there. Hey, we appreciate the time today, Frank. We really do. It's great to finally meet you and have you in studio and see it all happen right here.
Yeah, this is really only the 15th chapter of my book.
Keep them going.
I got
right?
like 12,000 chapters.
And maybe when you get back, you can have an impersonation of one of us because the text line's asking.
It's going to be incredible. Probably that's what the text line is asking for.
Yeah,
the text line looking for Fescoe and Dusty. Nice job. You're going to be waiting a long time, like the Chiefs, waiting for another Super Bowl. Out.
It's Frank Caliendo. You're listening to 96.9 Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Jonathan India here, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, let me tell you about my friends over at Golden Oak Lending. I love dealing with the folks at Golden Oak because they make things so easy, and they actually care about what we're thinking. And that's the cool thing about the folks at Golden Oak Lending. They want to know where you want to go with your financial needs. What are your financial goals? Tell the folks at Golden Oak Lending, and they can help you get there because Golden Oak has lowered rates to 4.875%, and while other lenders are talking about high rates, Golden Oak is dropping their rates. So I want you to take their free mortgage checkup. It's risk-free. There's no paperwork. There's no credit card required. It's just a simple phone call, 913-890-GOLD. Tell them exactly what you want to do, and if they have a mortgage that's better than what you're in, they'll tell you about it. If they have one that isn't as good as what you're in right now, they're going to tell you that as well. They're not going to put you in a mortgage that isn't better than what you currently have. The average cash-out customer right now with Golden Oak saves $1,104 per month. And if you'd rather do it online, that's great. They've got Zipline, Golden Oak's fast and easy online mortgage tool at goldenoakLending.com. But talk to them, 913-890-GOLD, and take that free mortgage checkup, 913-890-GOLD. And remember, if you refinance, you go 2 months without making a mortgage payment. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Our biggest deal is back. The Tires at Cost Sale at Telly Tire and Auto Centers. You pay what we pay. No gimmicks, no catch. All in-stock tires from Telly's huge inventory at cost. Plus mounting and balancing by certified tire technicians for only $27.95. The top brands, the lowest possible prices, with a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. There's never been a better time to replace your worn-out tires. These unbeatable savings won't last long. Hurry and reserve your tires today. Take care of your car. Take advantage of our sale. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for junk tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
When I started watching my favorite team as almost Andy Reid, I couldn't get out of the parking lot due to my new popularity. Renner Garage Door has an offer that's just as popular. $100 maintenance check to keep your door running smooth. Get a free replacement quote. Renner carries top brands like Deldon, Amar, and LiftMaster. Family owned since 1956. Call or visit rennerdoor.com. Renner forward and back.
R-E-N-N-E-R. If the amazing regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics provided relief for former pro football player Bobby Carpenter, imagine the potential for your aching joints.
So my knee had been bothering me for a while. I played football for a number of years. I looked at talking to some doctors when I need to potentially have surgery, and I decided hey, let's check out QC Kinetics. I go in there and they look at the knee. Hey, here's the program that we can put you through.
That treatment takes your body's own healing properties and concentrates them at the root of the pain. No surgery or downtime.
The best part was there's no recovery until one day I felt like, hey, this feels like my old self again. I feel better. It's helped me. It's helped my dad. Hopefully it will help you in the same way. My message to them is do not wait. So you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Take it from Bobby Carpenter. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Lowe's is the destination for Ego outdoor power equipment this spring. See what's new and exclusive, like the 17-inch string trimmer with Line IQ technology that auto-feeds to save you time, and the 22-inch Select Cut self-propelled mowers with a multi-blade system for precise cutting. Shop Ego Days, happening now during Spring Fest at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Cody Tapp, and if you're in the same boat as me, you're looking at someone, you're like, I can't keep living like this. I want to get to my weight loss goal. I want to finally meet those things. Well, I did. 6 weeks, 30 pounds. That's what I did over at Awaken 180's at-home program. I worked with them over the phone. I got online. They got a great app. See what recipes they had available for me. See what things they had to make it easy to do this process with them. I know you want to find out more. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com, and see how with no medications, no gym, and no calorie counting, just the support every week and free support for life. Look, summer's coming up. Maybe it's the pool, maybe it's vacation, maybe you just want more energy to play with your kids or be at those youth sports like I wanted. You can do all of that thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Find out more. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 635 southbound, very heavy. You hit delays around Kansas Avenue, and it crawls down towards Gibbs with an accident blocking 2 right lanes. 29 southbound, slow rolling from Parvin into downtown. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Game over. I mean, here we are, baby. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. What is this called? Like slot machine?
Yeah, what is this?
New music, man.
Sounds of Vegas?
Money Honey.
I knew it was something about a slot
Money
machine.
Honey, huh?
Yeah.
I tell you, we need to get the old number 5s creating some original music for us so we could use his butt music. Come on, Brock. Watson, let's go.
Yeah, come on.
Let's go, guys.
Thanks, Frank Caliendo, for stopping by. Fan of the show.
Yes!
So appreciate that. But time to dive back into the wonderful world of sports, as we did a little bit there. But there was some news yesterday, and I know that, hey, no secret, I enjoy Colorado's football team because of Coach Prime and what he's done to make it fun.
Absolutely.
But, dude, are we a little over the top, maybe jumping the shark a little bit with it by retiring Shedeur Sanders' number and Travis Hunter's?
Oh, I missed that. They're retiring their numbers?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, they are retiring their numbers at Colorado. Like, done for good, they get them.
Well, all right, let's talk about this out loud real fast, okay? Have they had a huge impact on Colorado?
Not in the regards of like winning.
No, but I'm talking about overall university.
Yeah.
Okay. Name
but was
me,
it them or Dion?
Well, let's get to this point here in a second. Name me 4 other Colorado football players in the history of their other than Eric Bieniemy.
Cordell Stewart, Ryan Westbrook.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go. Right, and
Shedeur Sanders and
Travis Hunter, who had become in this era when. I think sports is bigger now than it was yesterday, and tomorrow it will be bigger than it is today. Just like I say with athletes. Athletes are better today than they were yesterday. They will be better tomorrow than they are today. Sports continues to grow. Sports continues, as Frank Caliendo talked about, part of pop culture at this point in time, right? It really is part of pop culture and part of our lives in a bigger way than it's ever been before. And so you have to think about the impact that those 2 players have had on Colorado. Yes, Dion is the head coach, and his name will be in the Ring of Honor. It should be in the Ring of Honor.
Or he'll have a statue.
A statue
if he stays.
If he stays,
Yeah.
right. If this is a 3-year deal and he leaves after this season, forget about it. But where was Colorado 700 days ago before Dion and company got there? They were nowhere to be found, right?
Yeah.
And he came in and then brought his son and one of his guys with him.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter's Shedeur's best friend. I don't know the answer to that
And he's a
question.
Heisman Trophy winner.
He's a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
He plays both sides of the ball. He's exciting to watch. Those 2 guys were the catalysts for this era of Colorado football, rejuvenating Colorado football, rejuvenating the university. So retire his number. You say that out loud and it sounds ridiculous. But I think the more you kind of talk about it and you realize the impact that these guys have had in 700 days on a university, I think their number does need to be retired there.
And Mac, maybe I'm wrong, and I probably am, but like they retire the jerseys or the numbers.
I think they retire the number.
Well, they're going to run out of numbers eventually, right?
Well, maybe. I mean,
there's number 24, 67, 11, 19, and 2.
Because I know in the
Colorado.
Chiefs anyway, at least with the Chiefs, and I know this from talking to people over the years, they retire the name. There's very few numbers that get put out. Like you're not going to see 16 anymore. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's
or
not
15,
quote unquote
yeah.
retired, but they won't use it anymore. And this happened when I saw the first person wearing 68 after Will Shields was gone, and I'm like, why is you retire that number? They go, do you realize if we started retiring numbers, we'd have nothing left? And I'm like, well, that is true. A 52-man, 53-man roster can't retire that many numbers.
Yeah.
So I think college is I'm guessing, I don't know, but you put the name up there on the Ring of Honor. But they've had a big impact, man. They really have.
Because does KU retire numbers or they retire jerseys?
I think they retired jerseys. But
so
again,
you could still rock 34 at KU.
I don't know the answer to that one, quite honestly.
Speaking of numbers retired, today is Jackie Robinson Day, so everybody will be wearing 42
I
in
love
baseball.
this day in baseball. It's great, yeah.
I remember my dad always gave me like the trick question. He's like, there's only 2 people that wear 42, not named Jackie Robinson. Who are they? So I was like, it's
one's
Mariano
Rivera.
Rivera, and the other one was Mo Vaughn.
Oh, Mo Vaughn, that's right. He did wear number 42. That's right. I can see that like the day is long, yeah.
Yeah, so again, we go to, the numbers being, retired. I definitely get Heisman Trophy out of Colorado. Like, that's like, you may never see that again at that university. Maybe you will with Dion being the coach there. Shedeur, it kind of seems like, like he pulled rank and was like, yeah, well, my son was, the most successful quarterback since Cordell Stewart, maybe. And it's just like, They came in together. They leave together. They're going to go into this shrine together.
Yeah,
whatever.
I like. Look, it's a university. And a lot of times universities do things that only make sense to that university, right? Like waving the wheat or rock chalk chant or the Wabash Cannonball or something at Mizzou. Like there are certain things that are more impactful for that university than there are for the general public. So we look at it and go, and they look at it and go, God, without these guys, we're not on the map right now. Who knows if they're even in the truck stop 12, as somebody called it yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I get the Hunter thing. I don't really get Shedeur because never won a bowl game. Never really had a great record. Like, yeah, he was Deion's son, and he had a lot of like NIL endorsements. But it's just like, the
Royals retired Frank White's number, and he's trying to kick the team out of town.
That's why I'm surprised you're where you're at with Colorado, Bob, because they didn't win anything.
No, they didn't. But
nothing.
But the impact that this 700 days has had on that university has been life-changing for that university. Full stadium, full enrollment, huge endowment. Like, that place is rolling. And they're rolling because of, they have Weed. But Travis Hunter, they have Sanders, and they have Shedeur. And without those three guys, that Colorado football program, guys, is Boise State.
And if I'm
that's an insult to Boise State.
I was gonna say it's a huge insult.
Yeah,
to
Boise
Boise
huge
State.
insult. But I mean, like that kind of that next tier level. Like maybe they're UCF. I don't know. Fill in a directional school here.
I just feel like if you did a circle graph of who really mattered to that growth in Colorado the last 700 days, there'd be a sliver for Shedeur, it'd be a good amount for Travis, and then pretty much the whole circle would be Deion.
Yeah. Who else is on that? But you don't know anybody else, really, right? None of us do.
Yeah.
And that's not like, I'm not trying to put you on this, but I'm like, who else is there? Like, you tell me, like, I think Warren Sapp is on that staff. Okay. I think.
But he's there because of Deion.
Right. Right. And the guy who used to coach the Giants is their offensive coordinator. Pat something or other, Fiermuth, maybe. I don't know what the hell his name is. But there's a couple of names that you would recognize. But, man, like, all we talked about for 2 years in college football were the Colorado Buffaloes, Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter, and the impact that they had out there has been just unbelievable, man. Like, Colorado's got their school back because of them. So I get it. I get why you do that. I don't get why the Giants are holding a private workout for Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, that's weird.
Now, there is a great theory being floated out there that I absolutely love. And this comes from a gentleman who's covered the Giants for 100 years. His name is Gary Myers. He works for New York Newsday. Nice. And he put this out there yesterday. And he said, the big story tonight is the Giants are working out Shedeur Sanders on Thursday in Boulder. My opinion. I think there's a better chance that they try to trade back into the first round between 15 and 25 to get him than take him at number 3. Abdul Carter / Travis Hunter, too special to pass on. And he's right about that. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is worthy of taking with that number 3 pick when you're going to either have Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter sitting there. I believe Abdul Carter's the best player in the draft. Travis Hunter, kind of a generational type of player. Now, if you're the Giants, you still need a quarterback. If you can trade back into the first round later on and get Shedeur Sanders, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I do have a problem taking him at number 3 when there are clearly better players on the board that can make you better as an organization.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just going to fall to the Vegas Raiders, and if the Vegas Raiders don't take him, then I don't know where his pit ends. That's where I'm at with Shedeur Sanders.
Well, what about 9 to New Orleans now, right?
Yeah,
like, that's a possibility with Derek Carr's shoulder being all blown out. And people are saying he's doing that to stick it to New Orleans or something.
Because then there was like a report either yesterday or the day before. I think it was from like JPA Football. Again, I don't know how credible like their insiders are, but they were like, there's a lot of people that don't think that Shedeur Sanders is a first or second round talent, that his like throws aren't quite there, that his timing's off, that he's not necessarily the quarterback that he is, or that they think that he is, and that there's a lot of smoke around that. So to me, like, and we can get into NFL draft coverage more and more as the day goes on, but to me, like, the main story is not what is Tennessee doing. To me, it is like, where is Shedeur going to fall?
Yeah.
And I get it. It's partially because of what his name is and the hype that's been around it. But it's like, this is also something that could really affect his career, maybe in a positive or a complete negative, because, look, the guy's had all the arrogance in the world. There's no secret, right? His arrogance is very evidently obvious. And now you're going to the league where, like, this is it. Like, this is where all the men go. This is where the boys go to become men. And either you hack it or you don't, and you find out very quickly. And You might go into this draft being like, dude, I'm a top 5 pick. My dad's been telling me my whole life I'm a top 3 pick. Round 3 pick, 75 is Shedeur Sanders. And it's like, damn, there were 75 players better than me in the NFL draft. Like, yeah, dude, it's nice to have your dad's support, but that doesn't hold merit anymore. Now you got to go be your own man. So, I mean, there's a lot that could come out of this whole Shedeur Sanders talk at the draft.
I feel like also, too, there's side A and side B to this, and nobody's willing to meet in the middle. There's the people that want to crush Shedeur Sanders, and there's the people that want to love up Shedeur Sanders. And look, this is draft. Every year there are players that fall into this category. It's not anything new because it's Shedeur Sanders, but it really feels like it this year that he's the guy where either you're in love with him and think he can play or you want nothing to do with him. I'm not 100% sold on Shedeur Sanders, but what I am sold on is his dad and Deion. Like, there's part of me that believes, and I could be totally wrong on this one again, but there's part of me that believes that Deion Sanders is going to be so invested to not allow his son to fail.
I hope you're right.
And not all of us are gifted with a Hall of Fame football player as our dad that has done it at the high level. I'm not saying Shedeur has the cheat code by any stretch of the imagination, but he definitely has a mentor that he can lean on every 10 minutes of every day and go, Dad, what should I do here? Dad, how do I handle this? Dad, what do you think? And all that kind of stuff, and have that sounding board. So I think he has a little bit of an advantage because of that, but eventually he has to go out there and play, and talent has to, come through.
No doubt about it.
So would you say his dad's an advantage or disadvantage? Because we've talked about his dad being a disadvantage and a real hamper
depends
to the franchise.
Depends on how his dad handles things. If his dad's showing up at practice and calling the coach, disadvantage. If he's talking to Shedeur and giving him great coaching advice, advantage. But also if he's talking to Shedeur and telling him the coach is stupid, well, that's Little League type stuff, and you better not be doing that because that's not going to be good for anybody.
It's also hypocritical.
Yeah,
because Deion's like, hey, I'm the coach of Colorado. I don't need your dad or your uncle telling me how to coach a team. Well, then the same goes to you, Deion.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on the come.
Yes.
Oh, new sound or two with music?
On the come.
Yes. One more time, please.
On the come.
All right, so on the come today, I'm going to start this one off because it was going to be played earlier, but we got lost in the impersonations of the wonderful Frank Caliendo. If you missed it, which you probably didn't, there was a guy last night that shot his shot as what do you call that, a reporter?
Sideline
reporter for the Atlanta Braves. He gave stats and got some.
We're having a lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop. Who do we got here? What's your name?
My name's Lauren.
Lawrence, all right.
And I'm Kayla.
Kayla, and you guys hang out at the rooftop lounge often?
Once a year I come out to visit.
Okay, well, we timed it pretty well. All right, good. How are you guys feeling about rooting for the Braves today?
Oof, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best.
What about you? Are you a Braves fan now?
Not quite.
Not quite. All right, I'm gonna go to work up here, guys. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, Wiley. You got 4 innings to get the numbers.
I'm on it.
Get us some more Braves fans.
All right, so they want me to get your number.
They want you to get my number.
I'm dead serious. They're saying in my ear right now. She doesn't believe me because she thinks you guys are not. I'm making this up. Even if you guys weren't, I might use that in the future. That's actually a pretty good move.
This is unbelievable.
So the best part of this right now is that Wiley could totally be faking it. This might be the new move. Just walk around with a FanDuel microphone and an earpiece in and convince fans that they're actually on TV.
I should have thought of this years ago.
So on the come is that young Braves reporter saying, yeah, they want me to get the number. And then the challenge from the missus going, oh, it's they. Huh?
And she takes the phone and puts her number right in his phone, which is awesome. Shout out to Wiley Ballard on that one. I thought I was the only one with skills on a Tuesday, man. This guy's moving in on a Monday in Toronto. So this is an international deal. This game was being played in Toronto. And I guess he's trying to recruit Braves fans up there. And I don't know if this is a bit that they've done before where they go and interview fans or whatever the case may be. But they're like, you should get her number. And he sure is he got it, baby. Like, I love that guy. Give that guy a lot of credit, man.
And that's a tough voice that he's got, too. I mean, that's tough. That's like
his voice?
It sounds like a Sesame Street character.
And he's like, hey, guys.
Yeah, he's like,
we're having a lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey-ho, this is the sideline reporter for the Braves. My name is Wiley Ballard. Would you like to go out on a date with me, pretty lady?
She said yes.
And he said, wow.
Yeah, she was like, wow, they want you to get my number. He didn't get that. I was like, bro, this is your time. Come on.
Right now, love.
What a great song.
That's great.
Thank you for getting that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're having a lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop.
Caliendo is a reporter in Atlanta. You got it on the come this week?
I do have it on the come this week, and this is going to be a weird one, and it goes to the Eastern Michigan football program. Mm-hmm. They hired Max Crosby as their assistant GM yesterday, right? I saw a bunch of other schools are starting to hire like professional athletes to kind of be their assistant GMs that are actually still involved in the sport that they're playing right now. It's not just like Andy Luck going out there and being the guy at Stanford or something like that, but they hired Max Crosby to be the assistant GM of his alma mater, Eastern Michigan. And I'm like, that is a genius move by Eastern Michigan. What kid isn't going to go, oh, that's awesome, man. Max Crosby's calling and wanting me to play there? Hell yeah, I'm going to Eastern Michigan. Like, this is where the NIL and the transfer portal and all this stuff can really get fun and really get interesting, because now I didn't know Max Crosby went to Eastern Michigan. Now maybe Eastern Michigan becomes a football program on the map. I think it's really cool. I love it.
I think it's awesome. I mean, dude, even if he can get, 3 or 4 dudes who they wouldn't have gotten before, that's massive for a school like Eastern Michigan. Plus, I mean, he's one of the more liked football players, it seems, in the league. So that's a really good for them.
Right.
I'll shoehorn the NBA anywhere I can. The Clippers are on the come. They've been the number 1 offense and defense for over a month. The last month of the regular season, Kawhi Leonard is healthy. The Clippers, I think they could make the finals in the Western Conference. They are on the come for me.
You and Ben Maller will be loving life.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Oh, he's a Clipper fan.
Really? My
He's
brother's a
the only
huge
one,
Clippers fan. So
my friend from college is the voice of the Los Angeles Clippers.
Really?
So, yeah.
That is awesome.
You don't want the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals?
Nah, man.
What if it's the Lakers Clippers in the Western Conference Finals?
I hope that's possible. I think it is.
That
why wouldn't it? Could it happen?
Lakers are the 3 seed,
and
Clippers are the 2.
No, Clippers are the 4 seed. So yeah, So yeah, because it reseeds. They wouldn't play each other.
That would be kind of fun to have the Clippers and the Lakers in the finals.
That would be
each playing in their own building now and everything.
Like, they each have stadiums.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Somebody would need to get an eye on Balmer. Because I don't know if that
like that guy may die if they beat the Lakers. Like that would be the greatest thing ever. The hell with Microsoft, man. If he beats the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, that's worth the price of admission just watching that guy.
I feel like that should be like our Halloween costume next year. Is like get Maloney with us and be like the Microsoft Open. Maloney plays Balmer.
Yeah, he does look like Balmer. Yeah,
they just do like when they announce the kickoff for Microsoft. He's like, yeah.
I love the Clippers. I love it. I love it. It's the greatest thing ever.
That's so Rob.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Rob's in there. Get the stuffed mushrooms. Oh, my God. The stuffed mushrooms are fantastic. I love the stuffed mushrooms.
Wearing like 90s polos, like get the pit stains going.
Hell yeah.
And then you just got like me dressed up as Bill Gates, like clapping in the background. Like,
awkward clapping.
Awkward Bill Gates clapping.
Yeah. Like watch that video.
It's a great
video.
And
try not to think of Rob Maloney as Palmer. It's insane, dude.
It's hysterical.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yesterday there was a ballpark that introduced another food item and it's absolutely disgusting. Or is it? 96.5 The Fan, you're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
Whoever that bozo was doing the armpit fart thing, come on, man.
Catch Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, living with chronic joint pain is no fun. We all know that, right? You're trying to get comfortable and you can't, and just nothing feels good. And forget trying to do those things you love this spring, like golfing and hiking, tennis, pickleball, hanging out with the kids. You're just trying to get by. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in KC are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief that you need. They've already treated tens of thousands of patients around the country with regenerative treatments that help calm that debilitating joint in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without any downtime. Everybody's trying to live healthier lives and break free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. Curious if you'd be a candidate for these treatments? No problem at all. The consultation is totally free, and they're happy to take a look to see if they can help you finally get relief. Call now and find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Now's the best time to get started. Call QC Kinetics now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. It's QC Kinetics.
Hey there, Kansas Lottery here. And we want to get together for a game or two.
Meet us at your favorite retailer or wherever you like to buy your tickets, and we can let the games begin. There's a lot of fun and cash on the line. See KSLottery.com for details.
Looking for the best food, drinks, and game day vibes? The Landing Eatery and Pub in Liberty has you covered. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7 p.m. with great drink specials. Game day buckets, 5 beers or seltzers. Keep the party going Saturday and all day Sunday. Catch every play on over 68 TVs while enjoying our massive 102-item menu. Love live music? Our neon-lit smoking patio has bands Thursday through Sunday. Don't miss out. Check out our daily specials at landingeateryandpub.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Honey, it's me, your wife. Sorry to bother you, but this house is a mess. The windows are drafty, the vinyl siding has cracks and holes in it, and the kids just fell through the deck. We need Powell Exteriors KC now. They install James Hardie siding, Provia windows, Renaissance patio products, beautiful decks, roofing, and more, all at 0% interest for 18 months. Go to PowellKC.com and see for yourself. Powell Exteriors KC. The best decision you've made since you married me.
During the NBA play-in tournament, FanDuel is giving all customers a shot at $250 in bonus bets. Join FanDuel today, and you'll get started with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. From three-pointers to steals to assists, FanDuel has so many ways to bet your favorite player props. Plus, after the game tips off, you can even combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. Just visit FanDuel.com/Alex to get in on all the NBA play-in tournament action. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As America's leading business lender, Bank of America is on your corner and in your corner, right here in Kansas City. With $215 billion in business loans and over 3,700 business specialists across the nation, we help businesses thrive so communities prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Man, are you over 40 and struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself? Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today by visiting one of our conveniently located clinics. Meet a medical provider and get back to feeling your best. This April only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you and is covered by most major insurance. Get treated at our centers or from home. Why wait? Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Midwest Auto Services. Crossing the state line along 435, you get heavy around Holmes, and it's off again, on again slow out towards Lamar with an accident reporting. Is driving your vehicle like fighting a wild bull? Does it lead, pull, or feel out of sync when you accelerate or brake? Are you replacing tires a lot due to poor wear? Let Midwest Auto Services check your alignment. Call 816-224-4247 or MidwestAutoservices.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
It is Bob's birthday bash week, so we are consistently playing every song in his top 25 queued Spotify. So
this is all on my running playlist.
Yep. Yeah, this is what he listens to at the J.
God, could you imagine trying to do
this? One's called No Sweat.
Ugh.
Would you work out to something like this, Bob?
Of course. How much pre-workout are we on?
Yeah, seriously.
No, probably not. They would drive me nuts.
Yeah, it's too much.
I'm already out.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
So anyways, we talked about this on the other side of the thing. So you guys know me. It's no secret. I'm not like a huge sweets guy. And you're like, well, we saw you smash that peanut butter, patty daddy cream pie or whatever it was called.
So good.
Nutty Buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Either way you say it, it sounds wrong. And you guys, or Bob sent us a text, and then Kathy on Twitter sent us the tweet as well.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the Brewers that did this?
Toronto. This seems
Okay.
Canadian.
Okay, yeah. Cotton candy flavored fries at a ballpark?
Well, cotton candy, like on top of the fries, kind of drizzled with like cotton candy strands is the best way to kind of describe this.
Yeah,
right?
and it is the Blue
It
Jays.
seems disgusting.
Right, and so I will retweet it so folks can look at this thing.
The Blue Jays,
Yeah, and so it's fries drizzled in like what looks like blue and white icing, maybe
That's
an
what I was-
icing, and it's got a
Pile of Smurf pubes.
Yeah, a handful of cotton candy on top. And immediately everybody goes, "Oh, I'm out!" Right, like because that's your initial reaction, as it should be for something like that. But then I rewind myself a little bit to Saturday, and we had some like leftover fries and tots. I'm like, I'm hungry, so I put them in the air fryer, and I'm like, what do I want to put on these? And I drizzled hot honey on top of them.
Trendy,
right? And so then I called the kids down. I said, try these. Just let me know if you think these are good. Brioche. They loved them.
Nice.
Absolutely loved the hot honey with the fries, right? So if you run a restaurant, Smokehouse Barbecue, put these on the menu. Fries and tot combo drizzled with hot honey. Let's go, Josh. And they're unbelievable, right? They were fantastic. So I'm like, they're really good. And so like 2 days later, this cotton candy thing comes out on the fries, and I'm like, I can't be judgmental because here I was on Saturday making fries and tots with hot honey on top, right? I guarantee you they're going to taste good, right? It's probably going to taste very good once you have them because they're not putting something on the menu if it tastes like total ass. It probably went through a sampling of a bunch of people. And everybody goes, yeah, throw it on the menu.
It is funny. There's only one comment that says this, but it's like 3 comments down. Just says they were not good.
It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I just
Like
think,
you try it though, right?
I'd give it a
Now,
shot.
let me ask you this one because I saw one yesterday as well, and this guy called his fries nuts and bolts, and it was French fries with sliced olives on top, and that
Sign me
was
up.
it. And I'm like,
Sign me up.
I don't know that I want that.
I'm an olive lord. I will
like
eat all olives on pizza, in salad. I love olives in salad. I used to put them on all the tips of my fingers.
The
and
tips
walk
on your finger.
around.
You got to buy the extra large olives on the bottom shelf at Hy-Vee, and you put them on your fingers. They're awesome.
Like I have one hand that was like olives, and the other one was like bugles.
Bugles.
And I looked like I was a
Nice.
character from like 28 Days Later.
Who wins in a fight? A hand of bugles or a hand of olives?
Bugles are sharp.
They
Yeah.
are.
You can gouge.
They
with
got
those
range.
things.
Yeah.
Now olives, you could throw that thing quick down a hatch, and someone's
What's
choking on an olive. But
Olive and fries, is that just salty and more salt? I'm just trying to figure out what is the appeal, olives and fries. Because I like olives.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it was also like the British call this nuts and bolts, and it was like a bed of fries with olives on it. But I mean,
Blimey.
I don't know. I think the cotton candy thing at the ballpark on Friday, that to me is just the jumping of the shark. Like, I don't know, man. Obviously, like I'm not in the right mindset here because I'm a hater of sweet and salty. I've always admitted this, but
And you're also not a teenager because kids love this crap.
Oh, a
right.
10-year-old is going crazy.
Because I
for
mean,
this.
like you got to think, like to me, like there's only like a few things of fries. Like I like poutine fries. I like that sort of in rendition with the gravy, the horseradish,
those
and
ones, okay.
then the cheese curds on top. And I'm a sucker for chili cheese fries. I know
You're
it's
a big chili cheese fry.
lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I get it. It's not good for you. It's terrible. Why would you eat that?
Whatever.
I grew
You
up.
sound like my wife who loves chili cheese tots at the ballpark once a year. And I'm like, and they're always
man.
disappointing.
If she gets that on a Tuesday, look out.
Yeah.
Because I mean that
Lot
is
of gas.
No, just that's tenacious. Because I mean that is a meal that you're ready for some like endurance. But like I don't know what it is. Like I grew up loving Sonic's chili cheese coney and chili cheese fries. Stay away from me as a teenage boy after I ate that.
Ooh.
Like you go to Freddy's, chili cheese on the fry, Flamers at the mall back in the day that sold it, always got chili cheese on the fry. And they would announce it so the entire mall heard it. You'd be like, yeah, can I get the number one and then chili cheese fries? Number one, chili cheese on the fry. Like everybody heard it. You're like, all right, thanks, Margaret. Like everyone knows I'm a fat ass now.
See, I'm not into that. It just makes it all soggy. It's a mess.
Yeah.
And I just look at it and I go,
Like chili cheese nachos.
yeah, I'm
You ever
out
had
on
a
the chili
walking-
game right now. The walking tacos are really good.
That is
Love
dangerous.
those.
Those are so
Those are
great.
dangerous.
those.
Do you know, like, Josh and B-Dub had no idea what a walking taco was years ago? We were talking about it. They're like, what's a good concession stand? I'm like, a walking taco. People, yeah, like, where? Huh? I'm like, bag of Doritos with a bunch of chili inside.
Yeah.
Like, it's phenomenal, right?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
they're a really
fantastic.
easy item to make to have like a fun like wife and kids cooking night. Because you could literally just be like, what are you doing tonight? Like, oh, we're going to do walking tacos. What's that, Dad? Well, we make tacos, but you just pour it all into a Frito bag, mix it up, and eat it.
We're doing that for the Olathe East soccer group
Oh,
next
that's
week.
great.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
doing walking tacos. So my kids get on the Amazon account because they just order whatever they want now. Like we've changed the password 1,000 times. They still
Good luck.
figure it out, right? And
Kids
they're
will find a way.
260 bags of Doritos. Are we getting? And my wife's like, no, this is for the soccer team for the team dinner. We're going to make these
Yeah.
walking tacos. So what's the perfect topping for fries, though?
Chili cheese. Goated.
Because I'm just good with ketchup.
Yeah, ketchup's great.
I don't need much more. Whataburger spicy ketchup is the premier ketchup out there.
I know that like what's it? Not Shake Shack. Steak and Shake used to do like seasonings on their fries, or like I know Five Guys has Cajun fries, but it's not really a topping. That's just like different seasoning. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Ketchup for me. Yeah.
Ketchup is like keep
Goat,
it simple,
yeah.
stupid, man. Ketchup is simple, easy, and delicious.
Because chili cheese fries, way more can go wrong for me than Coke.
Except that house recipe ketchup. That stuff's crap. But you give me you give me the Whataburger spicy ketchup.
Ketchup
yeah,
snob.
I'm
let's
also
go.
like a 1950s man. Like I could just have a bed of fries with mustard on them, and it's just perfect.
mustard, huh?
Mustard on my fries,
Ooh,
baby.
that's interesting.
I don't
Never
hate
done
it.
it.
Like I literally will do it probably once every 3 times we do like the burgers, dogs, and brats on the grill. I'll just put the bed of fries down, take the mustard, and drizzle it over my fry. I love it.
I could do like honey mustard on fries. I think would be.
Or I'll
pretty
do.
good.
I'm sick in this way. I have an iron gut when it comes to this. I'll do mustard over the fries and then dash hot Tabasco sauce over the top.
God, yeah.
Like, it's good though. Like I don't know what it is, man. Like I don't know, chili cheese on a fry. But I mean, it's mustard, man. I love it. But I'm also more tots guy than fry, and I don't need to.
But it's the same
Yeah,
family of
for sure.
It's just so you could put the same stuff on tots as you would put on fries.
For sure. There's no difference in what I would put on tots I wouldn't put on fries.
But this cotton candy one, I would love. See, if Major League Baseball does it right, each ballpark comes up with something different for their fry toppings, and we have like a big contest and a bracket, and
that's great.
people
have they ever
vote.
done funnel
Fantastic.
cake fries? Somebody I
Yeah,
thought
I've
did
seen-
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
that,
yeah.
that can't be like something that hasn't been made
Yeah,
yet.
it happened.
But it wasn't like French fries. It was like funnel cake shaped
is
like
genius.
fries. Yeah, which is
You
great.
dip
yeah.
them in this. It'd be great. Hell yeah.
Dip them in like syrup
Syrup.
or something. Yeah, I mean,
baby.
yeah,
You gotta
that's like
stop.
French
Yeah.
toast sticks. Yeah,
I can feel my ankles swelling. Coming up on the other side, it is Start Bench Cut here on Fescoe and Dusty, and it's brought to you by Jay's Southland Tow Service here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
You just heard us talking about food at the K and all the stuff you can get there and new items like, whatever you're into. But you can also know that baseball is back, and this season we are bringing you the proud partner of your Kansas City Royals, and that's Surfside Iced Tea Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. They're absolutely delicious. I know from experience. I've housed so many already in this early spring, and summer's right around the corner, and I'm looking to continue this train. They pair perfectly with the day at the ballpark. You can find them at Kauffman Stadium all season long inside the stadium. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part is it's zero bubbles, so it's easy to sip and enjoy while you're either at the game, at home watching the game, on the golf course, watching/listening to the game, and ask for it at your local bars and liquor store. You must be 21 years of age, and please drink responsibly.
Whether you're digging a pond, clearing brush, grading property, or doing demo, Foley Equipment, your local Caterpillar dealer, is your one-stop shop. Buy or rent, Foley Equipment has the machines you need to get the job done. And right now, Foley has 0% financing on new cat skid steers, mini excavators, and compact track loaders. Stop by any Foley Equipment location today or visit us at FoleyEQ.com. That's FoleyEQ.com.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Baseball is back. Time to get your game day grill going. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal at the ballpark or sear the best steak ever while listening to the game on the deck, Booth Creek Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This hour on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week and then receive free support for life. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
470 westbound moves better in the Grandview Triangle. 435 westbound, though, off again, on again, heavy out past Warnell, then sluggish across the state line towards Metcalf with an earlier accident that looks to have cleared. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Join us for the Fans Draft Party on Thursday, April 24th from the Landing in Liberty. We'll be broadcasting live, plus your chance to win $965 and an autographed Chiefs helmet in our draft contest. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
This is a keeper.
Yeah, this one can work.
This sounds like modern day Eagles. This would be like if you told AI to make an Eagles song. This would be it. This is like from Take It Easy to like Going Breezy.
Just think about these, and it's done. That's all I get.
That's it. That's all you need, man. Because then you get the beautiful words of yourself, myself, and Bob Fescoe. So,
That's true.
That was it with the song. That was the whole song.
29 seconds. So coming quick.
Wow.
If I had a Tuesday, you could play that song in its entirety for me.
Wow.
Wow, that was great. Thanks, Dusty. Yep.
Sweet. Anytime.
Yep, we can do it again.
Right here for you.
Wow.
5 minutes.
That was the whole song.
Oh, nice.
And got it. So Jay Southland Tow Service text line 913-586-7965 as we get into okay. Yeah. So start bench cut. We can get into that here on 96.5 The Fan.
Here's Fescoe, Dusty, and Mac with this week's edition of Start, Bench, Cut.
All right. Since we talked about earlier today Cole Reagan's trade, yesterday talked about Cole Reagan's and Zach Greinke, 09 to maybe this year. Somebody else had a similar take on Instagram if you didn't see it. That's right. Almost the exact wording. It's hilarious. I almost died yesterday.
As
you.
Which take, though? You'll have to
About
remind
how
me of
Reagan's can be like what you said on the air, like this could be like the 09 Zach Greinke year.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Somebody stole that?
I don't know if they stole it, but they had a similar, almost identical word-for-word response on our Instagram page. You can find the Fan, 965's Instagram page. Did you watch it?
I did.
Did you remember Bob's take on Reagan's?
I
and
remember.
09 Zach Greinke? Did you
I'm
hear
locked
his?
in.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
gotcha. So I go Royals aces of now and in the past, Cole Reagan's, Zach Greinke, and the gone but never forgotten Ace Ventura.
Okay, I'm going to start Zach Greinke. Complete career, we know what he's done, right? He's a Hall of Famer. So I'll start Zach Greinke. I'll bench Cole Reagan's because he's headed that direction. And Yordano Ventura, I'm going to cut. His career was obviously cut short. We don't know what the full script would have been with Yordano Ventura.
It was coming, though. Like, it was right.
It was right there, yeah. Yep.
I'm going to start Greinke. I'm going to go the same. Start Greinke,
same.
bench Reagan's, and then then cut Yordano Ventura.
Same. Didn't grow up in like a baseball house. I was one of the first players I remember actually watching and carrying back. Be like, whoa, this guy's awesome.
But that's also
Greinke?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ventura. I was like, oh my God, that was 5 years ago.
No.
But what's also interesting about Yordano Ventura, I know the Royals were super relevant when he was there and he was a superstar in the making. Like, he didn't have his full career, but we still remember like what it was and what it could have been. Whereas, like, you know, I think more people remember Yordano Ventura being a Royal than James Shields.
No doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
And
do you know that the White Sox traded Tatis for James Shields?
That's
by the way?
right.
I was looking at that the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I texted our friend Gene Watson. I said, how did they allow this to happen back in the day? Now, he
yes!
wasn't part of that,
No.
obviously. But, I mean, could you imagine that? The White Sox traded Tatis for James Shields.
That's
man.
right. And Chris Sale for, what's that cat's name? You're on Mancada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he panned out pretty well. Start bench cut continues. Powder blue jerseys, Kelly Green, Chargers throwbacks. Because one former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver yesterday on Twitter, Garrett Dieter, said the powder blues are low-key overrated.
I had a friend of mine say that yesterday, and
Read
I'm
the
like,
room. Coattails.
We kind of have seen these a bit too much. I'm going to be honest with you.
And that's why we had that poll question.
Yeah.
Like, will you get tired of seeing? They're not. That doesn't mean they're overrated.
Right. No.
But
it's just like it's too much. So I'm going to go with the Chargers throwbacks. Whatever the Chargers wear are great. The Kelly Greens are unbelievable. And I'll put the powder blue thirds. Had they just been on a Saturday, I'm good with that. I don't need to see them every night now.
Do we remember the results of that poll? Wasn't it like 80-20? Like, no, I'm not going to get tired.
Yeah.
I would like to do that again
This
in the next
week.
couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Let's do it again tomorrow.
especially, they're not winning as much as maybe they were 2 weeks ago or
still
a week
love it,
ago.
or?
I like it when it's in small doses. Like if you're going to do it just on Saturday home games, great. But I was kind of craving the grays last night, not going to lie.
Okay.
I start the powder blues. I bench the Chargers throwbacks. And F the Philadelphia Eagles,
outta
man.
here.
Get those Kelly Greens out of here.
Pat Mahomes.
They look like snot when you're getting over a sickness. Screw the Kelly Greens.
They're beautiful.
Screw
great.
Fly Eagles Fly. You've ruined it
Ugh.
for me. Anything you do, it's ruined.
Never
I haven't
wanna
told
hear
one
that
of your
again.
super fans. He gets clowned a lot on Instagram. I love your content. Keep it up. Go Birds. Kiss my ass. I'm kidding.
I'll go Chargers, powder blue, and then I'll cut Kelly Green.
There you go. We go to I don't know. I just thought of these like 3 wide receivers outside of like the norm that you hear, like the Tyreeks and all this. Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster.
I'm starting McCole. I'm benching Sammy, and I'm cutting Juju. But I could have started Sammy
I
and
was gonna say, I
benched
thought that-
Hardman and cut Juju.
I thought the Lizard King was your guy.
He is my guy, but Hardman caught the game-winning touchdown in a Super Bowl, so you get the nod.
That's fair.
You can go, Dusty. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, no, you're good. I'm going to start Watkins. I'm going to bench Juju and cut Hardman.
Yeah, I like that. I'll start Juju. I'll bench Watkins, and I'll cut Hardman. Juju was the number 1 wide receiver on a team that desperately needed something at wide receiver. He stepped up.
I'm glad we all three had different answers there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We were doing the cotton candy fries, right? We were doing the ballpark food giveaways. So I was thinking of giveaways at a stadium more often than not, because you're starting to get closer to May the 4th, so everybody's advertising their Star Wars bobblehead
That's right,
or whatever it may
yeah.
be. So bobblehead, a clothing item, or the dollar dog.
I've changed over the years because back in the day when bobbleheads first came out, they were just that little guy bobblehead. I used to get one at every stadium. Then they stopped making those, and now we've got 17 different bobbleheads, and I look at it from a different perspective. I'm gonna have to get rid of this stuff eventually. I don't want more crap, so I'm gonna go with the T-shirt, the clothes item, because you can wear that and get use out of that. Bobblehead second, because you could probably sell that and forget the dollar dog. Those things were made last Tuesday. No chance.
It's just more flavor, man. More time to render.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, it renders all right.
Go ahead, Mac. Where you going?
I'll start close as well. I'll bench the dollar dog, and I'll cut the bobblehead for similar reasons Bob said.
Yeah. Sorry, my headphones were messed up. What you said?
You're good. You're good. I started close. I benched dogs. Cut bobblehead.
So I'm going to start the dollar dog because I'm just poverty stricken. I'll take a dollar hot dog. I know what I'm getting into.
It.
Like maybe I should just eat it home before I go.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You don't have to eat at the ballpark.
Yeah,
you make a dollar dog at home.
Yeah, no one's like, you got to get a hot dog. We got to figure out who's responsible for this. But no, I don't know, man. There's something nostalgic about it. I know it's probably not the best thing for me, but going up to the lady and how many you want? How many will you sell me? Aren't
4.
you a joker? Max is 4. Okay, I'll take 3. What? So I'll do the hot dog. Love me a giveaway with a clothing item, whether it's like a windbreaker, a hat, or like, what are they giving away? Like the foghorn leghorn hat at the Royals? That looks great.
That'd
Give me
be
that
awesome.
over the bobblehead.
My favorite are the giveaways, and then you see them years later at the J or at any gym that you go to, right? Like everybody, every day, no matter what gym you go to, is rocking the Jeremy Offelt giveaway.
Love that.
Or the ketchup mustard relish shirt giveaway, or the Jeremy Guthrie giveaway. Just go to your local gym today when you walk in for your workout, look around, and I guarantee you there will be somebody that's wearing a T-shirt. You go, oh my God, that's like a decade old. I've seen them as old as 20 years before.
Love that. I wish I still had my Mark Grudzolonic jersey.
Well, there's another one you see a lot. I'm not kidding. You see that one a lot, man.
I wore that a ton. I will say this, Jeremy
My
Offel,
neighbor has an Infante jersey he wears out to do the yard work.
Bode Omar. Yeah, it's funny you say Jeremy Offel. I watch a lot of guys' grocery games. During opening day week, they had an episode, and Jeremy Offelt's like a cook, like he's a chef. Like he wants to be a good chef.
I love Jeremy. He was one of my favorites.
We continue the sports-related Fridays. So Masters Friday, Draft Friday, Day 2 Friday of March Madness. Start bench cut.
Start the Friday of March Madness, Day 2. Masters Friday, bench, and I'll cut the draft on Friday. Like honestly, I'm not going to sit there and watch it on Friday. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to watch it on Saturday. We'll get the information afterwards.
Yeah, Friday night's tough because it's what, like 6 to 9, and
it's Friday
and
night.
It's the second,
Friday
third
night.
round. You're like, yeah, I'm good.
I'm out. I'll catch it on Twitter. Yeah, same, Bob. Yep.
I'm with you. And then last but not least, the baseball start bench cut. Would you rather hit for the cycle, throw a no-hitter, or hit a walk-off bomb?
I think walk-off bomb. I think that's number one
You're
for me.
pimping that, aren't you? You're like, you're yeah,
I'm
it's like-
pimping, man. I'm throwing the bat. I'm dancing.
Oh, I'm dancing,
I'm
strutting.
Tatis. I'm Jazz Chisholm out there. I'm doing it all,
Did you see the other
baby.
day the minor league player flipped the bat towards the mound after he hit a walk-off homer?
God, you could hit the pitcher.
Yeah, be careful on that.
So no, I'll start the walk-off home run. I'll probably bench the no-hitter and then cycle. I'll cut. But I mean, like, I'd like to see. I've seen a walk-off home run, but I've never seen a no-hitter or a cycle in person. I don't think.
Be sick.
I know a no-hitter I've never seen, but I'm trying to think if I've ever seen a cycle in person. I don't think so.
Yeah,
You'd
same
remember
order.
that, right?
You're going walk-off, no-hitter, cycle?
I think that's the same order for me. Yep.
See, I think I'm going, gosh, they're all individual accolades, too. Like a no-hitter. Well,
yeah.
I guess a no-hitter is part of your defense. You got to give a lot of credit
No,
to
that's
that.
true.
Cycle, let's be honest, you're doing it all yourself, and then walk. Gosh, there's got to be no better feeling in the world than a walk-off
Walk-off
bomb.
home run, man.
I
I
mean,
mean,
dude.
A walk-off anything, right?
Yeah.
Like
Buzzer
seeing
beat- yeah,
how
exactly.
like my grown-ass dad reacted to Bobby Witt Jr. hitting a walk-off grand slam in the regular season game, like 109, whatever it was. Like, just to see that, like, just
It's
to have
cool.
that and to have that feeling like I just did that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
everybody's
That was me.
going nuts. The whole crowd's cheering. It's a moment, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think for the cycle, there is some luck to that, obviously. You have to hope, like, somebody dives for a ball and it gets by him and you're able to get the third or, you know, that kind of stuff.
That is Start Pitch Cut, brought to you by our friends over at J Southland Tow Service. Get into the know with J Southland Tow. Coming up on the other side, we'll get into one word and we'll describe what was last night's Royals game here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Cody Tapp, and I want to keep telling you about my progress over at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. I've lost 30 pounds, which was my goal, thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Look, maybe you got the pool, vacations, life got busy on you. It did for me. I wanted to make a change so I had more energy for my kids, so that the superbone foot didn't hurt anymore. And I'm feeling so much better. The pressure off my knees, and you know I've had 3 surgeries, so I needed that. And everything else in between has made me feel so much better over at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. 6 weeks, 30 pounds. That's what I did, and you can do as well. I did it with no medications, no extra working out, no calorie counting, just the help with the people over at the Awaken 180 at-home program. At home, meaning you don't have to leave your house in order to talk to Awaken 180. Make sure your summer is everything you want it to be and give them a call. 844-346-1800 or find out even more online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Call Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. Our iconic blue trucks and expert team get it right the first time. Award-winning full-service lawn care and pest control since 1985. Call today for a free estimate. Visit aspenlawn.com.
Transforming your land with a John Deere compact tractor is as easy as connect, latch, load, haul, spread. Cutting grass is as simple as roll, click, mow. Box blading is as effortless as hook, lock, grade. And backhoeing is as convenient as turn around, switch, dig. Because when you've got the versatility to tackle just about any job and dealer support in your own backyard, you just have to get in the seat. Find the right compact tractor for you at johndeere.com.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
The NFL Draft is coming, and With the First Pick has you covered from every angle. Get ready for expert mock drafts, in-depth position rankings, and the perfect draft plans for all 32 teams. We're breaking down the best sleepers, unveiling comprehensive big boards, and delivering all the insights you need leading up to draft day. Whether you're a diehard draft junkie or just want to know who your team should take, With the First Pick is your go-to source for everything NFL Draft. Follow and listen to With the First Pick on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 66.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
This is what? Poison Oak, not Poison.
Poison Sumac would probably be. Poison Oak is wanting, rights fees. Poison Sumac's like, nobody mentions me. Go ahead and play it.
Have you guys ever had Poison Ivy?
No, I have not.
Yeah, you seem like a prime suspect. Like I feel like it just took over. Very beautiful, soft skin.
Yeah.
And then just all of a sudden, one brush of the leaf, and it was like,
who wouldn't want to be all over this?
Did you get that when you were in the Cub Scouts?
That is exactly right.
When you were learning how to tie knots and hiking in the woods?
No, we lived right next to all this land and these woods. I'd go out and play as a kid. I'd come back, like, what is this? Mom would be like, you keep doing that. Stop doing that.
Yeah, we were told not to touch it as a child. Maybe your parents, you were what, 4 of 4?
Go see if you're immune.
What? Yeah, I was 3 of 4.
You were 3 of 4. Yeah, your parents had given up.
Yeah,
by
it
then.
was over.
I know what it's like with 2. The third one, the hell with it. You get Poison Ivy, here's some calamine lotion.
Exactly
Go take a sitz bath.
Good morning, guys. From the 702, can you wish my 6-year-old son a happy birthday today? His name is Alex. Back when we still had old man Josh. He's been listening to you all since before he came out of the womb. LOL. So,
there you go.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Happy birthday, Alex. Happy birthday, Alex. Make sure your dad gets you something special.
Yeah.
Tell him you want $1 million.
Yeah, 6. It's the big one.
Now go play this back for your wife so that way you look really good.
Yeah.
Hey, I got some cool friends. No, shout out to Alex. Happy birthday. And I'm trying to think the first birthday I remember. 8?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know.
I know I hid under an Olive Garden table when they came out and sang when I was younger.
You guys probably didn't have your birthday party at McDonald's when you were a kid. That was my generation. You
No.
gather around
McDonald's,
McDonald's, man. Everybody went to McDonald's for their birthday.
I was also fortunate enough. My birthday's in August, so my parents always be like, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" I'm like, "Grill out, go outside."
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go
Pool.
to Grandma and Grandpa's house for the pool. Sounds good.
Easy.
Don't have to go out in public. But yeah, 100% true story. Hid under a table at Olive Garden out of pure fear when they came out and sang
Don't
happy birthday.
embarrass me.
Yeah,
Olive
literally.
Garden freaked you out, huh?
Well, the singers, all I wanted was breadsticks and minestrone.
Yeah, I don't want you to sing to me.
I was sitting there and be like, take the gabagool. They don't have that here.
No, this is
Dusty.
Olive Garden.
They have salad, breadsticks, and soup.
That's exactly right.
But it's all you can eat.
Yeah.
What a salad that is, though.
That is a
honestly.
really nice salad.
Not
It
gonna lie.
really is. When they bring that thing with the cheese where they shave it over the top.
Oh, yeah.
That's where Gene Watson takes special people to the Olive Garden. That's a big night out for him.
Well, yeah, because when you go there, you're at least family.
Your family, right, exactly.
It's like me and the Applebee's. It's A1.
It's the neighborhood. So last night, Royals and Yankees, I think there's a couple of red flags that happened last night. And I think there's a lot of people like me where I think that was the first game last year for me because I don't dive into every game, obviously, throughout the season. You'd mentioned that earlier. It's not good for your well-being. But that was a game last night where it was just there were so many frustrations throughout the journey of that game. It's waking up in the morning, you stub your toe. Then you get in the car, you spill your coffee on your arm. Then you get into traffic.
And then your arm
there's
smells all day.
Yeah, then there's a wreck in traffic. Now you're late for work. And it just seemed like all this stuff that should be routine because it just normally goes that way, like facing Carrasco, who's been absolutely beaten to death by batters in the MLB.
But his record against the Royals over his career is 12-7 with a 3-something ERA.
And that's fine. But his record this year against other people has been disgusting. And you kind of thought, okay, here's Lugo on the mound. I trust in him. Now, granted, all the home runs hit were solos, but there were 4 of them.
They didn't lose because of Lugo.
No. And I'm not saying that, but like it was another one of those things along the journey of that game last night where one, I'm already annoyed because it's the Yankees and I just hate them because of what sports has done to me. And I think it's healthy to have hate in sports, not in life. And you see that nobody can get a hit against Carrasco except for Bobby Witt. And you're like, this guy's getting pulled like 6 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. Like this guy's been giving up 6 hits and 4 runs in the first 3 innings of the last 2 starts. And then Lugo throws the same pitch 3 times and it gets absolutely yankied. No pun intended. And I get it. The text line's been saying all morning, well, not all those home runs are home runs. That
doesn't matter. That's where they're playing.
That's where they're currently playing.
Stop with that.
I can't give Lugo the benefit of the doubt because it's like you threw 3 straight inside fastballs at 92 and they turned and teed off on them and you found yourself down the barrel 4-1, whether they're solo shots or 3-run shots. I know they were solo shots, but seeing 4 of those go out of the ballpark, eventually it's like, man, like what the hell? And then of course Jazz Chisholm has to be one of them as well, which I just can't stand that guy.
But he's great for baseball because he's the heel and you need that. You know, you love that.
He's
and that makes you
our heel.
Yeah, but he could be the heel of all of baseball, I think, too, being the most boisterous Yankee, if you will. I mean, you know, that's the kid that everybody loves to hate. So you know, but maybe Lugo could have painted the outside portion of the plate, you know, make him, you know, cue one out there or something instead of putting one over the meat of the plate 3 or 4 straight times, whatever it was, you know, in last night's ball game. But, you know, to me, it's coming down to, okay, we're now through 17 games. You know, 40 games is kind of the line that baseball people will use to kind of know where you are, know who you are as a team. We played 40 games. We got a good feeling of it. The next 40, trying to figure out what you want to add to your team. And then the final 80, it's balls to the wall, and let's see what happens. And so we're almost halfway through those first 40 games, but I think there's been, you know, enough of a pattern to realize, okay, the hitting's not there right now. So what are we going to do? We can beat our head against the wall and, you know, want the hitting coach fired or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, to me, it comes down to maybe this is where Q, as the manager, steps in and says, we're going to change things up a little bit. And what I mean by that is we're going to get a guy on, we're going to bunt him over. We're going to hit behind the runners. We're going to play small ball from the 80s and maybe try to win some games that way. I know that sounds blasphemous for a lot of nerds that are running baseball these days, but sometimes you have to change things up and do things differently to get different results because, as they say, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the similar results, well, that's the definition of insanity. So I think right now where the Royals are, as you said, 15th in the majors in scoring runs, you're not going to win a lot of games doing that. No. Figure out ways to start manufacturing runs because your pitching staff is good. And if you go out there and you score yourself 3 or 4 runs a game, this pitching staff is good enough to give you the opportunity to win those games. And so maybe this is the night where Jonathan India gets on, you know, he steals second, Bobby hits behind him, and you know, cues one into right field. India scores from second. It's 1-0. Bobby's on first. Here comes Vinny. Still nobody out. Maybe you decide to lay down a bunt at this time. You know, and Vinny's not hitting great. Salvi's not hitting great. Maybe you change things up a little bit with them and say, all right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to move runners. We're going to steal Bobby to second. Then Vinny's going to bunt him to third. And then Salvi's going to hit a sac fly and drive him in. Now it's 2-0. So I think you can do things differently from the manager's seat in this to try to change things up instead of just, you know, putting the lineup out there and seeing if they can hit through this thing. Maybe you change it up a little bit, and then that gives these guys more confidence. But as you made the point, assuming they can bunt.
Yeah. I mean, Mac and I were kind of putting numbers together this morning because, you know, you had your thought process like nobody's hitting right now. Well, there are teams hitting. There's right now, the Royals came into this year saying they were a playoff team. And I think there's a lot of people that are either angry or, you know, the fire Zumwalt guys, like the guys, this has just been an embarrassment. There's a lot to go into that because, one, it means you're invested. It's like, you know, you can, you know, tweet out the show and mention everything that we just talked about and say, I couldn't even bear to listen. Well, you just described the entire first hour. You're invested in this team. And part of that is because you enjoy watching baseball and you root for the Royals. And the other part is because they sold you that they are a playoff team. When you put expectations on your team and you put expectations on your season, you have to deal with the good and the bad. When you're good and everybody's like, this is exactly what they said they'd be. This is exactly where they want to be. That's fun, and it's great, and it's a gravy train on biscuit wheels. When you're not hitting the baseball and you have 1 hit going into the 8th inning and you're averaging 3 runs a game, then you have to expect the scrutiny that comes because there are 13 teams that are scoring more runs than the Royals. Now, again, One of them are the Cubs, who have scored 120, and one of them the Yankees have scored 99.
Don't look now. The Cubs have the best record in baseball right now.
Sure they do. Yeah, Kyle Tucker, great sign. If I'm the Cubs, I lock him up for the rest of his career today. Right. And so when you look at
it's today.
I'm sorry, the Padres have the best record, but the Cubs sitting with 11 wins already this season.
And I think when you look at what these teams do in that upper echelon of the top 13 to 15 teams who have combined to average, out of that group, 84 runs. The lower 15 are averaging 54 total runs. The Royals are in that lower total. If you're selling people that you're on a playoff route or this is a playoff teams are not in that lower level of scoring runs. You have to figure out a way to score runs because the three teams or the series that you're playing this week and this like the end of last week, Cleveland, New York, Detroit, they're scoring runs and they're playoff teams. And if you don't start doing that or figuring out a rhythm, I mean, I get it. It's tax day. It's April 15th. We always say June 1st. We've got a month and a half. Are we going to see a 2-run differential in a month and a half? If they are, it's a damn good time to start getting busy. And it ain't going to be easy tonight. And last night was that night to maybe think because after the game Friday, Salvi's 2-run homer, Isbell and Michael Garcia get 3-hit games. You're facing Carrasco, who can't get anybody out, just like you faced that dude in Milwaukee that couldn't get out of the New York first inning,
right.
and he lit you up. It's like you're facing bad pitching.
The Yankees and the Tigers, the two opponents that the Royals have on their schedule now and next, have the two highest run differentials in all of the American League. Plus 23 for the Tigers, plus 21 for the Tigers. And I always go to that stat because that's truly the number that matters. Runs. That's it. Nothing else matters other than how many you score and how many you give up. And so when you're facing two teams that have the best run differentials in the American League, well, that is like, okay, we've got to find a way to score runs. And that's why I say you've got to try to do things maybe a little bit different, right? Maybe that's what I would try to do. But again, I'm not sitting there on the bench.
Or maybe Mike Kell leads off and India hits fifth.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe you do something like that. Or maybe you just decide to draw the lineup out of a hat and see what happens and have some fun with it for one day. It is baseball. There's 162 of these things. The other thing, you make a really good point when you say they're telling everybody they're a playoff team. You're right. And when you have those expectations, you are held to a different standard. And I think that's fair to say. They said that they're a playoff team. They expect to be a playoff team. Got to do better in the offensive standpoint from that,
Like to give it a contrast or an analogy to the team of across the parking lot, the Chiefs were telling everybody everything's fine. Yeah, we might look bored. They were 15-2. They still won. If the Royals were like, hey, we're a playoff team, and they're like, you're not hitting, but they're winning every game 2-1, 3-2, 1-0. At least you're winning.
Like if they're sitting at 11-5, or even the Cubs, 11-8 right now, right? If they're sitting at 11-8 and have a negative run differential, but they're finding ways to win games, you're like, I don't like that, but you know what? They're winning games, and that's all that matters.
You're like, at least you're bucking the trend.
Yeah.
You're winning games because you're pitching. You're losing games because of your offense.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And your pitching has done a great job this year. These guys have been spectacular. They're hoping to bide a little bit more time until we kind of get out of this malaise of April, and hopefully those bats heat up. But again, hope in one hand, you know what in the other, see what happens. You just got to figure out ways to get some guys going right now. And that may be ultimately up to the manager. It's not up to the hitting coach. Everyone wants that guy fired. What you need to do is
April 15th.
Yeah, come on. I mean, the guy was nobody was wanting him fired, 6 months ago when the team was in the playoffs. They're 8-9 right now, and you want the hitting coach fired? That's ludicrous to me. But
low-hanging fruit.
It is. You're absolutely right about that. And that's kind of what sports
we
becomes
do this every year.
I mean, but it's ridiculous. Well, it's the hitting coach's fault. The hitting coach is a coach. These are Major League Baseball players.
And I can hear Vern in my head being like, blame the hitting coach. No, these guys are men. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Go do your job. Zumwalt fired. I can already hear Vern's pregame right now.
Yeah. No, it's good because that's where I guess people are at this time. But I would say, with Q, hey, Bunt, do some different things, change things up a little bit, try to get the offense going that way. It's not going to be because the hitting coach.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a hitting coach changed in baseball and then all of a sudden the offense was unlocked? I mean, we change hitting coaches all the time here in Kansas. It never changes anything. Hell, it forced George Brett to quit.
No, the Chiefs needed to fire their wide receiver coach a couple of years ago because wide receivers couldn't get open, remember?
Oh, who was that guy?
Dave Merritt, I think.
No, he's the defensive back coach.
Okay, then.
And that guy's legit. He's good. Look at all his
so is the
defensive
wide receiver
backs.
coach, I'm sure. They drafted Rasheed Rice and Xavier
Fill in
Worthy.
name here, yeah. We don't know the guy, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I didn't know the hitting coach was until I saw people wanted him fired. And I'm like, really?
Vern's On Deck show starts at 5 o'clock tonight. Royals take action at 6:05. It is Michael Wacha versus Max Fried. So tough task tonight against one.
Fried's been unbelievable.
I mean, good dude, man. And like that's what I'm saying. Everybody was like, win one in New York. That opportunity was last night. Now you got to go steal one in the next 2 days.
This will be the game they win, though. You can't do it. It's Max Fried. They'll go out there and put up 7. Because that's baseball.
Yeah, and
that's baseball.
Royals on the money line plus 180. New York minus 215. The over under tonight's game is 8.5. I am on record as saying terrified of Michael Wacha in that ballpark. Let's get into one word.
Let's do it. We'll start with some football action here. One word on the Chiefs. Possibly
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Life-changing. One word on the Chiefs possibly trading up with the Minnesota Vikings. This was some reporter in The Athletic. I don't know if it has any real, true, weight to it, but it's fun to talk about anyways. This is draft season. This is what-if season. One word on the Chiefs possibly trading up with Minnesota. That would be pick number 24.
Fine, if you got a guy that you like. I'm always like a big fan of if you've identified a player that you love and you want that guy and you go up and get him, that's a win. I love when teams do that, and the Chiefs have done that a couple of times, obviously, with Trent McDuffie being the latest edition of that. I have no issue with that at all. If there's somebody they like.
Actually.
Xavier Worthy, yeah, exactly. Last year, those two guys. I mean, they've traded up. They traded up for a quarterback at one point, I think. I can't think right now. It's thinking about Waka. But so, yeah, go for it. I mean, if somebody's there that you love and you covet and you want him and you think he can be a difference maker, which they've done a really nice job of drafting, who am I to say no, don't do it? Gets you at home earlier, too.
What's your word, Mac?
Dislike. Yeah, there's no one of value to me that they would be worth trading up 7 points. 7 places that wouldn't be there at 31 already.
Well, you don't know that though. You just don't. I mean, there may be somebody that the Chiefs love, and they know that Green Bay who's picking it like may love them, and they need to leap Green Bay in order to get that player.
Possibly, and yeah, again, I'll trust Veach with whatever he does. I'm not going to say it's a bad move. I just don't think that guy's there. I think they could probably wait to get whoever's going to drop to him. But you're right. If they love Luther Burden, they love someone, and they want to get him, sure, I guess I'll trust him. One word on, what about you, Dusty?
I would say Burden.
Yeah, there you go.
Do it. Go get Burden.
That would be really exciting.
I mean, if you're going to get him and you think that maybe he doesn't go 7 spots later, like where you land at 31, but he might go at like 29, 28. Chiefs trading down to Minnesota to get that pick to basically say, hey, guess what? You guys said we should go get a left tackle. Here's what you know. We're just going to load Mahomes up with offense. We like this local kid. He got a bad rap. He fell in the draft. Watch this. Worthy, Rice, Burden, Juju, Hollywood. Let's go.
It'd be fun.
It would be a lot of fun.
I mean, everybody said Aaron Rodgers is knocking his crews. They didn't put enough talent around Aaron Rodgers. Well, this would be an absolute loaded class with potential and proven talent at wide receiver for the Chiefs. And you'd have a lot of Mizzou fans like, all right, where do I get this jersey?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah, they'd sell a lot of jerseys on that one. It may surpass Mahomes.
What would sell more jerseys? Luther Burden Chiefs jersey, Jack Caglione Royals jersey?
Royals. Yeah, Royals.
Okay.
I think anyway.
Yeah, I'd go Luther Burden personally.
I mean, there's like, say, 50% of the fans who would never buy it because he played for Mizzou, no matter how good he is for KU. Jack Caglione's all-encompassing.
That's fair.
But he played for Florida, says Mac.
One word on sticking with the Chiefs offense. The Chiefs kind of keeping the backfield they have now, not drafting a running back, basically keeping Hunt, Steele, Mitchell, and Isaiah Pacheco. One word on the Chiefs not drafting a running back.
Okay.
Dislike.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Like, I get it worked last year. I understand, like you said earlier, like, I'll never question Veach. I'll never question Andy Reid.
He's earned that.
But, like, are they missing something here? Are they outsmarting themselves at times?
Sometimes you do that. Yeah.
Right? Like, are you thinking, like, well, it's not going to – it's like, no. This is a loaded running back draft class. I'm not saying you have to pick one at 1 or 2, but you have 2 picks in the 3rd round.
Yep.
I don't trust these 2 guys to be electrifying running backs. And if you're again,
Or stay healthy.
If you're going to have a high-powered offense, why can't you have that? And again, yes, my mind is still in that year when they had Kareem Hunt, and it was Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Watkins and all those guys in that offense.
Boy,
and it was
young days.
awesome, and it was great. But it's like, there is a renaissance of skill set running backs in the league. There are more guys out there than just Christian McCaffrey in today's football world. There are, and they're successful, and their teams are good because of it. And maybe the narrative of like, well, nobody drafts a running back out of the first 3 rounds. Well, a lot of people do recently, and they've been successful.
We'll see what they decide to do. You know, maybe there's somebody better in a different position that they like. I'm sure they're going to acquire another running back. They've been kind of quiet this offseason from that standpoint, you know. Not that I would say go out and sign a free agent running back, but, you know, you draft a guy just like they did with Pacheco, use him for 3 or 4 years, see you later, on to the next.
I hope in this case, though, this is a real bell cow and maybe one step above, maybe higher coveted recruit than Pacheco, even though he's been great. I would love someone new in the back. I'm with Dusty
you
on
wear
this.
down fast in the NFL. We're seeing it right now with Pacheco. And I remember sitting here with Josh after his first game.
Absolutely.
Too bad that guy's never getting paid. And the text, I go, what do you mean? He's going to be irrelevant in 3 to 4 years, and he pretty much was last year.
Yep,
Speaking
absolutely.
of bell cows.
Okay, one word on Derek Carr out. This kind of broke over the weekend. Randomly, just huge shoulder injury, may require surgery.
There's so many different angles to go at, and I'll just go with one. Yawn. I'm over the Cars.
Yeah. You're over the guy liner.
I'm just,
You're over the emo.
like I kind of liked the guy for a while,
He's
and
nice.
now I'm just like, it's time to move on. Like, I feel like, you know, you've overstayed your welcome, sir. Like, how much longer are you going to be here? You said you were coming for 3 days. It's been a week.
Yeah. I mean, Derek Carr's injury is the one word, or Aaron Rodgers to New Orleans is the one word?
Well, I mean, one word on Derek Carr being out, but sure, one word on Rodgers to New Orleans as well. We'll do both.
Because, I mean, Derek Carr, like, pile up. I mean, I know that's 2 words.
Yeah.
But, like...
No, it's one word.
It is one word.
Yeah, you read it
pile
together.
up. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it seems like now, all of a sudden, Derek Carr's hit that point in his life where you're like an old man in football, where it's like, 1 year it's your shoulder, the next year it's your back, the next year it's your clavicle, the next year it's your leg, and then it's like, dude, Derek, man,
Dude,
like,
yeah.
you got a family, you made enough money in your career, maybe like save your body so you can actually walk by the time you're 45.
But it also goes to show you the desperation for quarterbacks in this league, where teams are willing to wait on a guy like Derek Carr who can't stand up. You know, like
Right.
it's like, what are we doing here in the NFL? There's like 10 good quarterbacks in this league, and so you're desperate.
Rodgers to New Orleans.
Yeah, what about Rodgers to New
Voodoo.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, you never know, man. He might have a puppet back there, like doing. I've been in New Orleans, man, longer than I probably should have been.
No doubt.
There's some stuff out there, man.
It's
like
crazy.
I've seen some stuff and some things. Like
It's fun.
yeah, I don't know if that's his.
Rodgers, I don't know about that.
I don't know if it's his forte.
Wild.
Yeah.
Because you're expecting the whole Pittsburgh thing, and then all of a sudden, last second, he goes to New Orleans. That's great drama for the league.
Great drama for the league.
Now, who's going to win that NFC South? Baker Mayfield's got a little bit of competition down there now.
Yeah, it would go so poor.
Carolina just contracted themselves. Jacksonville's going to quit, you know.
Or Atlanta, yeah.
Or Atlanta, yeah.
Rodgers to New Orleans, that'd be very bad for his career. He's
And
got to
now
say
he's
whatever he
going
has
to
left.
coach J.J. McCarthy and maybe think about going to Minnesota.
Exactly right.
Is that out there again?
As a report yesterday.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like he had mentioned he had a conversation with the Vikings. Like, I'm willing to like mentor J.J. McCarthy and play with.
Dragging this out, dude.
I can't make this up. I'm not trolling, I swear.
I mean, I don't know what is a bigger that there or this video that the Sports Commission put out saying the Chiefs and Royals may leave the region.
That.
I was gonna say, I know where your head leans.
I don't know. No, I don't know where my head leans. I don't know which is a bigger farcical story, that the Chiefs and Royals may leave the region with this fear-mongering video that's floating around, or that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a mentor. Because Aaron Rodgers has already basically shown us he ain't no mentor.
You guys like our friend Ari, right? From the NFL?
Yeah, Ari Meyerhoff.
Yeah. He just had a tweet. If you want to look at it, I want to discuss it on the other side because I totally agree what Travis Hunter had to say about this. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if erectile dysfunction is making a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner,
You should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Heartland Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices to serve you. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health.
During the NBA play-in tournament, FanDuel is giving all new customers a shot at $250 in bonus bets. Join FanDuel today. You'll get started with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. From three-pointers to steals to assists to who you think will get a double-double, who you think will make the first basket of the game. FanDuel has so many ways to bet on your favorite player props. Plus, even after a game tips off, you can combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win real big. So visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to get in on all the NBA play-in tournament action. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and President, Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued with nominal drawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or raise the case gamblinghelp.com.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain clearing special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Kubota Orange Days delivers the savings you need for the life you love. Shop a wide selection of equipment at your local dealer, including America's #1 selling compact tractor. and get your perfect match delivered to your door. Designed for comfort and built for performance. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. Sales ending soon. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Something amazing is happening at work. Innovative tools are helping people do better work. That's because CDW configuration specialists are multiplying productivity with Microsoft Windows 11 Pro Surface devices. Built-in security, flexibility, and simplified management streamline tasks so your team can get more done. Microsoft and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/surface.
This hour on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Results every week and then receive free support for life. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Oh, yeah, Daddy. If I was a closer or a wrestler, this is my music. Is it over? Is it going to be over soon?
Yeah, you've got 15 seconds.
Turn it up. Now pitching in the bottom of the ninth. Closer, Dusty Likens. Yeah, dude. Definitely gun fingers coming out like Kenny Powers.
Dusty!
You're effing out.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, no.
And there's a pitch, a high drive, and the Royals lose. Likens blows another save. And Steve with the scores. That's how that would go.
That is ballin'.
Ballin'.
That is ballin'.
I remember a different song called Ballin'.
Yeah.
We fly high, so high, ballin'. And then a random flossing line got dropped in that song as well. I want to bring up this tweet because I kind of agree with this. Ari Meroff at My Sports Update tweeted 17 minutes ago. And this was on the Garrett Podell podcast.
Who?
That's what it says. Garrett Podell. Yeah. It is.
Heard that name.
Garrett Podell. That's the NFL staff writer for CBS Sports, blah, 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 blah. Seems like a good man. Seems credible. Says Travis Hunter says he won't play football at all in the NFL if a team tries to limit him to just one side of the ball. Hunter told Garrett Podell that no team has expressed any issues with him playing both cornerback and wide receiver in the NFL.
And why would you? If you're a team right now, you should not limit what this kid could do. You bring him in and you see what he can do. I mean, you're drafting him for a reason, right? So I wouldn't put up any sort of, in the NFL anyway, any sort of like, you can't do this. Doesn't make any sense anymore. Guys used to play both sides of the ball. He's a kind of a unicorn guy. See what he can do. If he can do both competently, why not use him?
Guys used to play both sides of the ball?
Oh, God, yeah. Back in the old days.
Like
70s?
Before that.
No, well before that.
Yeah, you're talking.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, Troy Brown did it for the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, but
because they had to.
Yeah, they didn't have enough players back then, right? Yeah, guys played on both sides of the ball back.
Okay,
in the
I figured you were.
I
I just figured you were talking 40s, 50s, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what I figured. I just want to make sure.
But I mean, that doesn't mean you can't try to do something.
Of course.
And I wouldn't do it with every player. That's ridiculous, right? That's dumb. But if you got a guy that could potentially be a good player on both sides of the ball, I would look at it, and I can be wrong again, as I usually am, but look at it from the perspective of I'd rather have him be a defensive back and then work him in a little bit at wide receiver than the other way around,
If he could be a really good defensive back and come in the red zone and have a package and use that speed and that burst, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. The Travis Hunter package, baby.
If he can have a package.
Yeah, package of plays.
Yeah. So it kind of gives me like Caglione vibes. And again, here I am.
Here we go.
Fanboy. Yeah.
Just kidding.
If it's a unicorn and it might be special, why not see what it does?
Because it's different from a money standpoint in baseball than it is football.
Is it in this situation?
Yeah, it is.
How much money could you have to pay Travis Hunter if he is an all-pro wide receiver?
Well, he's on a rookie contract for 4 years, and then you have the fifth-year option. So you've got 5 years with him under your control at a low rate. Okay. You bring up Jack Caglione before June 15th, that clock starts ticking. You there's so much of that layered bull in baseball that you have to focus about, think about, and that you don't have to worry about in the NFL, right? You just don't. That the NFL is what it is. You draft a guy who plays that day. In baseball, you got to bring a guy up. You got to worry about service time. You got to worry about contracts. You got to worry about arbitration. Oh, you don't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, all the crap that they deal with in baseball, bringing a guy up. This is the NFL. Let's go. We just play guys.
And his first start at corner, he can be squared up against Tyreek Hill, get torched for 245, and then you've lost his all credibility as maybe being a corner because he shook the rest of his career. Or
if that shakes you for the rest of your career, then you weren't destined to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
And maybe you're not destined to be an outfielder. You're just destined to be a first baseman / DH. Because
Could be.
sometimes unicorns do happen. I thought Speck had a good point about this yesterday. He's like, it's only happened twice in Kansas City where, like, Bobby Witt Jr. worked out immediately. Patrick Mahomes worked out immediately. Right? Like, I know he sat for a year, but it's like.
And Bobby had his tenure in the minors, right?
Yeah. But they were also, like, tainted. Like, he had a minor year where it was COVID. Then you had the World Baseball Classic that he went to, so he didn't really play in the minors, and then he got called up.
What year was he drafted?
2018.
So 18. So he had 19 in the minors, 20 was COVID, 21 was full minors, and then he came up 22.
During the World Baseball Classic, because then they'll play the World Baseball Classic next year every 4 years.
Yeah.
So he didn't really have the full, like, workload in the minors.
2019, yep.
And yeah, so he got drafted in 2019. Yeah. So he got drafted, and immediately COVID happens. Then he, has a somewhat like half year where they didn't have any minor league baseball. Then he has a World Baseball Classic. Then he's up, and now he's a superstar. Worked out. Patrick Mahomes probably, in my opinion, I know career hindsight is there, probably could have been a stud his first year as a starter. Like, you couldn't tell me right now that if you put him in that Tennessee Titans game, they don't lose that they lose that game. So again.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question, though.
And nobody does.
Yeah. I mean, Bobby Witt, 2 full seasons in the minors, 161 minor league games, 744 at-bats. So, that's a quick move.
And also to
especially
me.
for the Royals.
And I don't think he even needed that long in the minors. I mean, I thought it was great last night when Bobby Witt Jr. hit the home run and they cut to his him in the dugout, and he's like, he threw me in, he threw me out, and he threw me in, and I hit it out. It's like, that's just, I don't know. I'm just, But again, I agree with Travis Hunter on this. Like,
I do too. I'm on Travis Hunter's side. Yeah.
There's a lot of athletes that come out and be like, I'm playing wide receiver. It's like, okay, that's where the money is. That's where I know I can thrive. That's where I'm going to get it. I don't want to play corner anymore. And he might be a generational talent. He might be a trailblazer for kids that are all of a sudden like, did you see the contract Travis Hunter got in 2030? Holy smokes. How do you get that? Did you see the contract Ohtani got when he was a pitcher / hitter? And Ohtani had his best year as a non-pitcher. Like, he had an historic top 5 all-time MLB season last year. Something nobody had ever done, 50-50. Didn't pitch. Now you're the Dodgers like, oh, God, what do we do? We have a loaded staff already. Do we want him to pitch? And maybe you do because of how dominant he can be because he is an outlier of an athlete. I love the attitude that Travis Hunter has where he's like, I don't want to go to a team that's going to limit my potential. Go out there and be yourself.
And maybe you get there and you realize, okay, I am a much better wide receiver than defensive back. Let's just focus on that. But I don't think you can have your mind made up if you're a team or if you're the player or whoever. Now, today, like we're only going to draft you if you play wide receiver. Well, why would you do that as a team and limit yourself? Because teams are always looking for ways to save a buck, to maximize their roster, to get the most out of every player on that roster. If a guy can play 2 different positions, one on each side of the ball for you, and you don't allow that to happen, are you really doing what's best for the team? I would say the answer is probably no.
Yeah, emphatic no. You don't want to put a ceiling on what could possibly be a generational type talent. Now, with that said, I would want to know Travis's attitude of like, hey, man, I know you want to play everything. I know you want to try everything. That's fantastic. But at the end of the day, if I choose, you got to trust me, and you got to be ready to go with that, my decision, and be full-fledged. And, okay, you're a wide receiver now, or you're a defensive back, and, hey, you're only going to play 15% of the snaps on this side of the ball. Like, are you going to be okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know.
Is he slot receiver, slot corner?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's going to also understand real fast the NFL is not college football.
No,
and it's a completely different game.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't the truck stop 12 here, okay?
Hey, judging by how we saw how big he was at the draft or at the Radio Row.
Right.
Like,
and that's the thing. Like, injuries happen fast. You're not faster than everybody anymore.
Nope.
You're not better than everybody anymore.
No.
So now you're going to get a real wake-up call. And hopefully he can realize that wake-up call sooner rather than later and go, okay, yeah, I'm a better wide receiver on this. I don't want to play cornerback anymore. I'm hurting myself. I'm hurting the team. And if I'm playing cornerback and not doing well, that's going to affect what I'm, you see it in baseball all the time. Guy struggles at the plate, boots one in the field. It happens all the time. So why put that pressure on yourself if you don't need to?
Yeah.
But if you can't say I'm not going to give it a try. That's That's not
Foolish.
good. Yeah,
Especially
that's
when you
dumb.
have the credentials to do so.
Yeah.
So go do you, man.
This isn't a guy coming in and going, I think I want to play cornerback today. No, this is a guy who's done it at a high level.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We'll be back tomorrow here on Fescoe and Dusty. Coming up next, obviously, is Cody Gold and Drew from 10 to 2. Royals, Vern's on Deck show at 5 o'clock. Royals at 6:05 here on 96.5 The Fan in New York. Once again, go do something nice for somebody. You never know. It could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It is simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay safe, stay kind. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament win